and that pairing is if you're Edmonton, you're hoping to get McDavid out against them, so you got to protect them now. So you're not going to get a ton of ice time, which is not going to make it easy to step into the game. That being said, Julson's game does translate to the playoff, so to speak. He doesn't have to move the puck really well. He has to defend, and he has to throw his body around when he gets the chance. Obviously, you can't take penalties. So in that essence or that sense, it's easier for him to step in, but it's a tough building to step into when you haven't played in 2-3 weeks now, and now you're going to be looked to probably get exposed by some of the best players in the league.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned Ian Cole a couple of games ago. People were clamoring for him to come out of the lineup because of how many goals have gone in when he's been on the ice, and even last game, right? One of the goals goes off Ian Cole, bounces off of him. Now, I thought it was a textbook block out, right? He boxed out Connor McDavid. He's facing the puck. It bounces off of him and goes in. I mean, when you're playing well or you're not even doing anything wrong and that happens, how tough is that for a player who obviously made a lot of mistakes in game 1 and 2, but then in game 3, I mean, you don't do anything wrong there, and it still goes off of you and goes in.
Yeah, again, that was never something that really happened to me in that because I wasn't there.
Right.
I was not the one they bounced pucks in off of. But the same thing I say, like I liked his game again. You don't see him, and he's there, and like the player misses the net by 1.5 feet, and it bounces off of him and in behind. Like it's fluke. He's doing everything right. He's boxing out, making sure there's nobody right in front of Shilov's, and it's bad luck. Thankfully, this one didn't cost us anything. But again, I have no problems with the way Cole plays right now. He's a defensive defenseman. It's always easy to be after those guys when pucks do go in off of them or they get exposed a little bit because you just say, well, he doesn't score for us. No, that's not his job. He eats a lot of rubber. He plays tough minutes. It's one of those things. It's too bad when they get a little bit too much scrutiny for what they deserve to be, so to speak.
Yannick, always appreciate the time. Thanks for this. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, you too.
There is Yannick Hansen, our pregame analyst, joining us here for every pregame show during the Canucks playoff run on the Canucks Central pregame show. I want to shout out Max's Bakery for sending us a few goodies to help us through the night here, Sat.
Oh, yeah. Number one, the sandwiches were terrific. But, yes. I mean, the cakes and these pastries.
Cheesecake I got my eye on.
Mm-hmm. And there was also a fruit little pastry as well. It looks really, really good. I can't wait to dabble into those as soon as we get into puck drop. But yeah, Max's Deli and Bakery.
I am very much a sucker for cheesecake. So you'll see me pounding one probably tonight and also a few more times at Oak and 16th where Max's Deli is.
Yeah, they brought a nice spread, like in terms of like lunch and you know snack type of catering services. They got that covered for you as well. So really, really nice stuff. So impressed, very impressed.
Always like when we do get fed a little bit here.
I'm easily impressed with food. Let me just put it that way.
On the Canucks Central pregame show. All right, let's get to our Flame Save Stars, highlighting top performers in hockey and FireSmart BC. It's brought to you by BCAA. Get FireSmart with helpful tips and resources from BCAA. Visit bcaa.com/FireSmart. And I want to take a look at a player that's arguably been the Canucks' most valuable player in these playoffs. Had another 2-goal game in Game 3 for Vancouver. Now up to 7 on the playoffs. Only 2 players in the entire postseason have more. It's Brock Besser, who's just been an absolute machine for Vancouver so far in these playoffs.
Yeah, picking up where he left off in the regular season and then some with the 7 goals in 9 games. And him and JT Miller have been the Canucks' most dynamic offensive duo. Both have 11 points. And you saw the setup JT had on I guess it was technically his first goal because the first one went to Lindholm.
Yeah.
But a great play by JT, driving behind the net, kicking it up into a soft spot. Besser jumps into it, and the next thing you know, he snipes it past Stuart Skinner. And those guys have the chemistry. And we spoke to Jim Rutherford earlier this season, and one of the things he mentioned was, JT Miller set up Bo Horvat for a lot of goals last year, and he's doing the same thing for Brock Besser. So a lot of it comes from what JT's doing, but you can't diminish how much Brock Besser himself has improved as a hockey player this season. And offensively, we know it's been terrific. He's doing such a better job in reading space, popping into open space, kind of getting lost in the offensive zone, and then all of a sudden popping into space. He's done a great job tipping pucks in. He's done a great job crashing the net. He's been better along the boards. And then in terms of his defensive play, I know Leon Draisaitl still got around him, but the way he defended Leon Draisaitl the other night too, going one-on-one against him, it was at the Canucks blue line, and he stayed with him for about 10 seconds, going left, going right, driving forward, driving back, and he's hounding him. And eventually Draisaitl, because of him being Draisaitl in an absolute house, eventually got around Besser.
Yeah.
But it was also another sign of this guy's compete level has been through the roof, defensively, offensively, and it's not a fluke that he has 7 goals in 9 games.
Yeah, and he's done it at both ends of the rink, as you mentioned, which is huge for the Canucks. He's been trusted in a lot of big spots to close some of these tight leads the Canucks have been holding, and he's been everything to them. I will say, given how good Miller's been in these playoffs, it's kind of surprising that he only has 2 goals.
Yeah, I mean, he's had more opportunities, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the one that goes off the post to the empty net.
Yeah.
In Game 3, of course, is one, and that's an empty netter. But I still think JT can provide more goal scoring wise.
I wonder tonight, because Pickard is your starting goalie. We heard Kevin Woodley earlier today on the station with Canucks Talk mentioning where some of his weaknesses are. And, if you can imagine for a 32-year-old journeyman, there's a few spots that teams have targeted against him. One of them is high glove. He struggles with second chance opportunities as well, so rebounds are going to be a big part of it. But high glove, what do I think about when a player is going high glove? I think JT Miller coming downhill on the power play and going to the far post with that left shot. So I wonder about JT Miller tonight. Let's look at the warm-up lines for the Vancouver Canucks. Mikheyev, Patterson, Lafferty, Suter, Miller, Besser, Joshua, Lindholm, Garland, Bluger, Oman, and Carlson, Hughes, Hronek, Cole Myers, Zadorov, Julson, and, of course, an Artie party in goal. Archer Shilov starting again for the Vancouver Canucks.
Is this one of those gut feels by the head coach throwing Lafferty with Patterson and Mikheyev? Because we were kind of wondering with the coach saying today that he's considering another lineup change, that perhaps Niels Höglander would draw back into the lineup.
Höglander did take warm-up, but it doesn't look like he's going to play.
No. And
given those line rushes.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, he's probably not playing then for sure. And a bit surprised maybe, but that's why I wonder if it's a bit of a gut feel on Lafferty. Because I didn't think Lafferty was terrific last game. I mean, he forechecked a few times, used his speed, but played under 10 minutes or whatever it was. Wasn't a huge impact. It's still, we're waiting for him to make have more of a presence out there. And not only is he staying in that lineup, he gets to play with Patterson and Mikheyev. So we'll see if the coach is onto something here, because I would have liked to seen Höglander get back in.
So no Höglander tonight, and it's Zadorov Julson, not Cole Julson. Yeah. And one of the things I'm kind of interested about with that, and I'm not necessarily surprised, when Zadorov and Myers played a lot together this year, it wasn't giving good vibes for me, Zad.
Well, you know what?
They had a tough go.
I think in many ways, Zadorov and Myers have similarities in terms of, because they're so big and they can move well. Zadorov obviously moves even better than Myers does, and they handle the puck well. They can have moments where they do some spectacular things. Now, again, I think Zadorov's shown another level, of course, right? But they can also have a lot of variance in their games, game to game, where from Zadorov, you might get an 8.5, 9.5 out of 10 performance, then you'll get like a 5. Sometimes, and a bit of a dud type of performance. And Myers has the same thing in him. Now, both guys have been far more consistent in the playoffs, which has been a big reason why the Canucks are so hard to play against. And also, both guys are prone to taking the odd risk. And when you have Susi playing with Myers, it's a far more quiet game, and Cole is more similar to Susi's style of play. So I think if you want to have those guys going head-to-head against McDavid and Draisaitl as much as possible, and you want to have guys that are a little bit safer, then it makes sense for Cole and him to be together. But at the same time, I would expect to see a lot of defense by committee, like the coach said today as well.
Oilers not going with 11-7, as Knobloch alluded to earlier today. It is McDavid with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Draisaitl centering the second line with Kane and Holloway, McLeod with Fogle and Perry, and then Derek Ryan on the fourth line with Janmark and Connor Brown. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Desharnais, so they are switching up that pair, and Kulak, Susi, the third pair for Edmonton. Calvin Pickard, their starting netminder. It is the Canucks Central pregame show, and it's brought to you by White Spot. A great game deserves a great meal. Order White Spot takeout during the playoffs and save 20% with code SAVE20. Some exclusions apply. Details at whitespot.ca. And okay, I'm getting my times mixed up.
Yeah, we have. So
the bottom half of the break.
Yeah, usually we get out at like 6:58. Now we're getting out at like 6:28.
I totally had a brain fart there. I'm like, are we supposed to be out at 24:55? Like, no, that's when it's a regular pregame show, not one that starts at the bottom half of the hour.
Well, yeah, and I don't think Eddie would have let us go past the hard.
I just want to have some accountability, okay, Sat? I'm not going to Stuart Skinner this thing. I'm going to have some accountability.
So you're not
accountable to yourself, right?
Yeah, Reach is going to leave the show right away without having a post-show wrap up.
Not going to answer any media. Like, Bick's probably out there waiting to answer. Like, ask me some tough questions.
He's going to blow right past them.
So Sam Lafferty, starting with Patterson and Mikheyev. There's a want to have more out of Patterson, but as Yannick mentioned, Mikheyev and Lafferty, like, is there some level of, well, what more can we expect out of Elias Patterson when he has these line mates?
Well, and I mean, I think the biggest thing we can expect is him to be more of a threat at times, take the game on a bit more, be a bit more aggressive, for him to get his looks off. That's something that I can see more. I mean, listen, you can't make Mikheyev score goals.
Yes.
And if Mikheyev had, let's say he finishes 3 of the incredible chances he's had in the playoffs that Patterson has played a part in, then his stats, Patterson all of a sudden has 7 points in 9 games, which is still not like good enough, but it's a different discussion. It's like, hey, he's setting up the line of scoring. They've had some big goals. But he himself, if your linemen aren't scoring, when are you going to really put your mark on a game? And that's something we just haven't seen him do enough in the postseason yet.
Mike, the urologist from Brockville, the style Lindholm is playing right now is almost like having a second JT Miller on this team, and it is huge in these playoffs. Cole in Ontario, go Vancouver Cougars. He is loving the Vancouver Cougars.
Yeah.
I think everybody is. The Pat McAfee way of saying Vancouver Cougars.
Cougars.
The Cougars. Another text saying, get Cole off the right side.
He would be going back to the left side.
He would be going back to the left side with Susi out, so the Canucks will have 3 left shot, 3 right shot. With Susi out, though, and maybe Julson playing fewer minutes tonight, I think you kind of need more out of Filip Hronek tonight, Sat.
I think in general we've been wanting to get more out of Filip Hronek. I just wonder how much more you can get if he isn't 100%. Like, the shot's not much of a threat offensively, not much of a threat. Defensively, for the most part, he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
But
as many Canucks have.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's a big one tonight. Artur Shilovs versus Calvin Pickard. First time at the NHL level. Did it in the AHL playoffs a year ago. Shilovs got the win in that one. Puck Drop from Edmonton is next. This has been the White Spot pregame show on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
BCers love hockey, and they also love burgers. What's even better is saving 20% off takeout during the playoffs. Order White Spot online and save 20% off with code SAVE20. Not valid on May 12th, June 16th, or on pirate packs and alcohol. Only at whitespot.ca.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Navigating the seas of business? The waves can be unpredictable and overwhelming. Stay on course with Crow's trusted advisors. From startups to seasoned enterprises, Crow offers advice that protects and strategies that succeed. Because every smart decision begins with expert advice. Visit crowmackay.ca to learn more. Crow, smart decisions, lasting value. Door to door or port to port, All Cargo Express is the leading Canadian international freight forwarder. Importing and exporting vehicles, heavy equipment, commercial goods, and personal effects, All Cargo Express offers ocean, air, rail, and truck services right to your door. With All Cargo's extensive experience in delivering their customers with prompt and efficient handling, you can have peace of mind knowing your shipment is in good hands. All Cargo Express, Canadian-owned and operated company since 1978. Explore their services or get a quote at allcargoexpress.com.
BCers love hockey, and they also love burgers. What's even better is saving 20% off takeout during the playoffs. Order White Spot online and save 20% off with code SAVE20. Not valid on May 12th, June 16th, or on pirate packs and alcohol. Only at whitespot.ca.
Hey, this is Quinn Hughes.
Miller, high slot for Hughes with a wrist shot. He scores! Quinn Hughes throws it to the goal. It beats Sergei Bobrovsky.
And you're listening to Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Brock Besser helped lead the way for the Canucks in a hard-fought 4-3 win over the Oilers in Game 3. Myers, he'll spin it back to Miller on the inboards. Miller, centering pass, Besser with room in the slot. He scores! Brock Besser for the right circle had all sorts of time to wire the wrist shot past Stuart Skinner. And the Canucks have taken the lead in Game 3. It's 2-1. Hughes tried a shot. It bounced wide of the net. Besser gets inside of the goal. Attempted a centering feed for Patterson in front. It's broken up by Suter in the slot. Down low to Besser, driving the goal. He scores! Brock Besser, with 1:26 left in the first period, finds the back of the net again. And it's 3-1 Canucks in Game 3.
This guy does not miss, especially against the Edmonton Oilers.
Tonight, Vancouver can take a 3-1 series lead with a win, while the Oilers will turn to Cal Pickard in net to try and even the score. It's round 2, Game 4. The Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. The Stanley Cup playoffs are on the air, live from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta.
You're listening to Vancouver Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Jando with you from Rogers Place tonight as we continue to set the scene ahead of Game 4 between the Canucks and the Oilers. Programming note, it is a late face-off, so we're still about 20 minutes away from the drop of the puck. And Randeep, no shortage of storylines for us to discuss here in the extra time we've got before the game starts. Let's begin with the biggest story revolving around this Vancouver Canucks team, the suspension of Carlson Susi. He will not play tonight, issued a 1-game ban by the NHL's Department of Player Safety for a cross-check to the face of Connor McDavid.
Before we get started, I want to mention this is an extra episode of In the Booth, really 20 minutes, so you get some extra content, but you're absolutely right. This is the most important storyline heading into this game for the Vancouver Canucks. No Carlson Susi, even though he's ranked 5th in ice time on that back end in terms of defensemen. We know how important he is, a defensive stalwart on that shutdown pairing with Tyler Myers. So Rick Tocchet was asked about what his defense would look and essentially said, hey, it's going to be defense by committee, but the way that we saw the pregame line rushes and the pairings, it's Ian Cole alongside Tyler Myers to start. We'll see how that deviates potentially later on in the game. Zadorov with Noah Julson drawing into the lineup, but it is going to be a very different look, and is an important player that's going to have to be a collective effort to make sure that they play well defensively.
Julson's first game since the second game of the series against the Nashville Predators. He played just shy of 11.5 minutes in that game and had 5 hits against the Predators. And Rick Tocchet and Canuck players in the dressing room talked today about the strength they have in depth. A guy like Julson, who this season played 54 of the 82 games for the Canucks, draws into the lineup, and they feel comfortable with him coming in, and he can help them out on the penalty kill as well.
No doubt he can block shots like Ian Cole, like Tyler Myers, but he also brings a physical edge that this series is trending towards, but you have to be very disciplined. You don't want to go out of your way for hits. Stay within that structure. So Noah Julson's going to have a role in that Nashville series. The game you mentioned, he played just over 11 minutes. I would expect that ice time is probably in that same range, but the structure of this team is the most important thing when we talk about defense. It's not necessarily the individuals, it's the entire system and the way that they play that system. So Noah Julson knows it well. He's played it all year long, but this is going to be a collective effort to get the job done against McDavid and Draisaitl.
Not everyone around the Canucks was pleased with the decision for Carlson Susi to be suspended for tonight's game, including Vancouver defenseman Nikita Zadorov, who was given a fine for his part in that altercation, and he had a memorable quote when he spoke to the media after the morning skate today.
Yeah, he's a big part of our team. Obviously, it's a big loss for us. My thought on that, I mean, I've been thinking for a couple days. I mean, unfortunately, that's the world we're living in. Sometimes, you know, social media and the public views can create some hard decisions for specific people, you know, and they might make questionable decisions at the end of the day. That's how I look at it. You know, at the end of the day, they have to protect their investment. So that's my understanding in this situation for sure.
There's Nikita Zadorov. Always a memorable quote. Certainly comfortable speaking his mind. A little bit surprising since he was already fined by the NHL's Department of Player Safety for his cross-check on McDavid. But clearly he's not happy that Susi's not able to play tonight, but the Canucks will have to soldier on anyway.
Zadorov took 24 hours to really think about what he was going to say. Yesterday did not speak. He did not want to speak to media. Today, pretty cerebral and straight to the point with his comments. Listen, that's a part of this journey in the playoffs. When you feel like a decision has gone against you, how do you react to that? Now, not having Susi, we've already discussed that, but do you have it's an us against the world mentality here? The Canucks not happy with that decision. You know Nikita Zadorov's not happy with that either, and do you use that as motivation? I look at his play and his swagger that he has. He brings a certain edge to a series, and the Edmonton Oilers haven't really been able to handle him offensively or physically. So I think with Zadorov, he's coming into this game angry a little bit, probably $5,000 a little lighter in the wallet, but you have to channel that energy, and when you get that opportunity, play physical. Take that chance offensively, but he's a guy that adds a little bit of attitude and maybe a little bit of arrogance to this team, which every team needs.
Meanwhile, from the Oilers' side of things, a big decision made by head coach Chris Knoblauch. He will turn to the 32-year-old veteran Calvin Pickard to start the game tonight. Pickard played 23 games for the Oilers this season with a record of 12-7-1, but only 7 of those games were against eventual playoff teams.
Life as a backup in the NHL on a good team, you generally get the softer matchups, no doubt about that. And Calvin Pickard, he's been in the NHL and the AHL for some time, but his first career playoff start. One thing during the season, you mentioned, those 7 matchups, a lot of those on home ice as well, where he's played quite well, a goals against average of 1.99 and a save percentage of 923. But the degree of difficulty is a lot tougher in the playoffs. You're playing a really good team in Vancouver. And the other thing, Batch, there's a lot of pressure on this guy right now. You talked about the decision that Knoblauch made. Of course, it's out of necessity. Stuart Skinner's 793 save percentage in this series was not cutting it. But for Calvin Pickard, it's a high-stress situation, and you never know how a player's going to react to that. He's a vet, but the best of them can get nervous in spots like this.
Meanwhile, Chris Knoblauch is also tweaking both his forward lines and his defensive pairings. Up front, McDavid and Draisaitl are going to start the game on different lines after playing the last couple together. Knoblauch said they'll play together, they'll play apart, we'll have them in all sorts of situations. He even hinted at going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. And as of right now, we don't have the official lineup yet. It doesn't look like he's going to do that. Looks like he's going to stick with 12 forwards and 6 defensemen. But then he's blending his pairs on the back end, too. The Nurse-Ceci pairing did not skate together in the warm-up. They've been split up as Darnell Nurse was skating alongside Vincent Desharnais, and it was Brett Kulak with Cody Ceci trying to protect a defensive pairing that has not been good in the series.
It is a fine line of making adjustments and making too many adjustments, right? When in the playoffs, you're trying to instill some confidence and react to the matchup that's been played in this game. And in a lot of ways, of course, Knoblauch has to make changes to his lineup, but back in a playoff series, we've talked about 2 or 3, 1 in goal, on the back end, and in the forward group. Is this too much? I guess we'll find out pretty soon here, because you're going to have a lot of ice time for Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, which is probably a good thing for the Edmonton Oilers. They are your best players. But does it unsettle the team a little bit more? Does it create that nervous energy, which we picked up in the city a little bit? How do the players react to all of these changes? That's going to be a big question for me.
McDavid will suit up for the Canucks, or against the Canucks rather, for the Oilers tonight. He played a ton last game. Leon Draisaitl played 29 minutes. These are the horses that Chris Knoblauch is riding right now. My question is, though, what message does that send to the rest of this Oilers team? Because let's be perfectly honest, and Sat and Dan were talking about this on their show yesterday, it almost says, I don't trust the rest of you, and that's why I got to play these guys so much. And when you look at the lack of offensive production from the bottom 6 forward group in particular, you can kind of understand why.
I don't think the coach has any other option. When you look at that bottom 6, there's 1 assist from 6 players, and that came from Derek Ryan.
In the series,
I should mention, which is a real problem for this team, because when McDavid and Draisaitl are on the ice in the postseason, they have 19 goals for, 2 goals against. When they're not on the ice together, They have 3 goals for, 10 goals against. So that tells you it's a real imbalance. And your best players have to be your best players, but you need timely contribution from the bottom 6. The Oilers aren't getting that. So what do you do if you're Knobloch? You're probably going to rotate these guys on separate lines and rotate those centermen and get them out there as much as possible. At this point in time, of course, it may seem as a little bit of a desperate move because you're looking to wake up your bottom 6, but you go down 3-1 in this series, it's a very difficult proposition to get back in this series against a team like Vancouver. So I think this is the game where Knobloch's going to try all of this.
Meanwhile, Julson comes into the lineup for the Canucks, as we mentioned, due to the Susi suspension. Rick Tocchet hinted that he might make a move up front, and he hasn't made a move in terms of pulling anybody out of the lineup, but he moves Sam Lafferty up to the Patterson line with Ilya Mikheyev. Linus Carlson goes down to the 4th line with Niels Oman and Teddy Bluger. And I had a chance to catch up with Linus Carlson coming off his first career Stanley Cup playoff game after the morning skate today. Well, Linus, as you get set for your second Stanley Cup playoff game, let's talk about your first and what the experience was like.
No, it was cool. Loud out there, and something you dream of when you was a child. So it's, of course, it's. I'm really happy for that chance.
How did you feel you played? What do you want to work on going into this one tonight?
I felt pretty good. I think I was pretty good on the battles. I won a lot of battles, and then that's what I'm good at, so I keep doing that. And then maybe try to hold the puck for a second longer, or try to find some place and not be scared to do some plays sometimes when it's the right time to do it. So I think that's what I'm going to take with me.
How would you compare the intensity of Game 1 to what you'd experienced in the regular season?
I know it's higher, of course. The details are so many details, and it's a step up from the regular season. I didn't get that many games, but you can feel like it's the intensity and how important the games are. It's but it's fun to play.
As a group, having success on the road in the last game, what do you guys need to focus on to try and do it again tonight as a team?
I think we played pretty good last game. We changed some details before the game, and then I think that worked out pretty well. Of course, we need some more ozone time and need some more shots, and hopefully we're going to get that today.
Thanks for this. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's Canucks winger Linus Carlson. Randeep, let's take a look at the keys to the game. They're brought to you by Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment. Get your keys to the All-Star collection of Kubota products at one of their 6 locations around BC this spring. Visit DLEAMC.com for details. Now, and the first key to the game for the Canucks tonight is to survive the start against a desperate Oilers team.
It's going to be a loud arena. There's going to be a lot of noise here. There's going to be a desperate team on the ice in the Edmonton Oilers. We talked about all the changes. They're going to be looking to score and play physically for Vancouver. Much like the last game, Edmonton scored within 6 minutes, but the Canucks responded immediately. They did not sit back. They played a attack mentality game themselves. They're going to bring that. They're going to have to bring that here at the start as well.
Second key to the game, team defense. McDavid and Draisaitl playing on separate lines, even though Knobloch is not going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. He's probably going to try and get them out there in some mismatch opportunities. So everybody, all 12 forwards, all 6 defensemen, and the goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks need to be prepared for that.
You have to commit to a defensive style of hockey. Of course, counterattack and make sure that you take advantage of Edmonton mistakes, but at the same time, protect the middle of the ice. Be sure to keep everything to the perimeter, and Vancouver did a great job of that in Game 3. You have to keep that going, as you know that team's going to be desperate in front of them.
Let's take a look at the starting goaltenders. First for the Canucks, Archer Shilovs goes in. He's 2-1 in the series with an .883 save percentage. But in the playoffs this year, he has a high danger save percentage of .963. At the other end of the ice, it is Calvin Pickard, the 32-year-old Moncton, New Brunswick native, who has played the Canucks 3 times in his career in the regular season. He's never beat them. 2-1 with a .917 save percentage in those games. The starting lineups are presented by Angry Otter Liquor. You won't find anything in store made in Edmonton. The Oilers will start with the defensive pairing of Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard. Up front, it's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on left wing with Connor McDavid at center ice and Zach Hyman on the right side. For the Canucks, it's Quinn Hughes on left defense with Philip Hronek to his right. It's Dakota Joshua on left wing, Elias Lindholm down the middle, and Connor Garland on the right side. So Chris Knobloch with the last change, Alex to put McDavid out against Lindholm, Randy, to begin this game tonight.
And you know they're going to bring their superstar player, and Lindholm's had a great series and a great playoff, 7 points in 9 games. It's a matchup he can take. He's played it before, but they better be ready for it because this barn is rocking. It's loud.
As the fans have made their way to their seats, they've all got their orange pom-poms in hand, ready for a crucial swing game in this Western Canadian second-round tilt between the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. Final thoughts, Randy? It's a big swing game, a big opportunity for the Canucks. They need to try and make the most of it.
Absolutely, and they need to take advantage of the situation they have right now, which is a team in the Edmonton Oilers that's doubting themselves right now. So attack, don't be super aggressive, don't be careless, but take the moment, seize the moment if it arises, and it probably will, as Edmonton's going to be desperate. They're probably going to take some chances tonight.
They also really want to make Cal Pickard work, and I know the Canucks haven't had a lot of shots in most games in the playoffs this year, and they don't want to just throw pucks to the net, but at the same time, you got to make this goaltender work. You got to make him make some saves.
And you got to plant that seed of doubt for him as well, not only the team, but this is a guy that hasn't played in some time back, so with Pickard, you want to make sure that he doesn't develop any confidence early on in this game.
It's Game 4 between the Canucks and the Oilers from Rogers Place in Edmonton, and we'll have the opening face-off next on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, it's Satyar Shah from Sportsnet 650. Wildfires have the power to drastically change lives in BC, and as wildfires become more frequent and intense, we can all take proactive measures to protect our province, our homes, and our communities. BCAA and FireSmart BC have joined forces to help educate British Columbians in wildfire prevention and preparedness. Get FireSmart with BCAA and FireSmart BC. For tips and resources, visit bcaa.com/firesmart.
How many emails, text messages, notifications for calendar reminders of meetings you don't want to go to are all waiting for you to deal with right now? Well, your legendary escape from it all awaits. The number 5 orange is open right now. That's a meeting invite worth accepting. Pregame, postgame, even during the game. The number 5 orange.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The road trips are coming.
The road trips are coming.
Do you hear that?
The road trips are coming.
Hey, it's Jeff, owner at Turn 3 Autosport. It's time to get road trip ready by getting your spring service done. Experience an exceptional alternative to the dealer and book your appointment today to hit the road running. Our team's passion and commitment will have you wondering why you didn't visit us sooner.
Turn 3 Autosport, born out of a passion. In Langley and at turn3autosport.com.
What are you reading?
The email with detailed pricing on Parksville 96 in Surrey. This is awesome, and they're on sale now.
Are you going for the luxury package or the investor pricing?
One of each, a place to live and a mortgage helper down the road.
I can't believe the location and amenities, the park, SkyTrain, and so much to do right in the building.
And I can walk to work at the hospital and save a ton on gas and commuting time.
Let's do it.
Introducing the Nibby Collection from Riobel. Bathroom faucets and trim inspired by the iconic form of coastal lighthouses. Experience luxury fixtures made for daily life, infused with a hint of the sea. Designed by Riobel and available at Splashes Bath and Kitchen. Choose from faucets designed for tubs, showers, or sinks in one of 4 stunning finishes. Learn more about the sea-inspired Nibby Collection from Riobel by visiting the experts at your local Splashes Bath and Kitchen showroom or online at splashes.com.
Hey, this is Brock Besser.
He scores with 1 second left in the period.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Rogers Place. Brendan Batchelor and Randy Janda with you as both teams have made their way onto the ice The starting lineups have been announced. It's a raucous atmosphere in downtown Edmonton, with the Oilers needing a win to try and battle back in their best-of-7 series with the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks up 2-1 as Edmonton turns to Cal Pickard in net for this game tonight. The atmosphere was tremendous a couple of nights ago. It is again, just as it has been in Vancouver leading up to this postseason. And Randy, the Canucks did a good job quieting this crowd early the other night. They'll need to do it again.
This is a resilient group. In Game 3, they were able to respond with the goal immediately. You're going to have that same type of energy and that real, tunnel vision when it comes to this game. Block out the noise. It's a tough thing to do in a building like this, but it's something that this Canucks team has been able to do all year long.
It is game number 4. The Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers here in Edmonton. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. And here's public address announcer Al Stafford.
Fans viewing at home across oil country and here in Rogers Place, we ask you to please remain standing, remove your hats, and join the singing voice of your Edmonton Oilers, Robert Clark, in the performance of the Canadian National Anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command.
Robert Clark and a sold-out crowd at Rogers Place with the singing of the national anthem. And with that in the books, it's just about time to drop the puck between the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers in Game 4 of this second-round series in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Canucks are wearing their road white uniforms with the blue and green trim. They'll skate from right to left in the first period. The Oilers in their home blues with orange and white trim will go from left to right. The referees are Frederick Lecuyer and Francis Chiron. Ryan Gibbons and Scott Cherry are on the lines. Brad Watson is the series supervisor, and the opening face-off is brought to you by Northview Golf and Country Club, the official golf course of the Vancouver Canucks. Legendary golf at its finest. Book now at northviewgolf.com. The Canucks had a great opening shift 2 nights ago en route to a 4-3 win in Game 3. They'll try to replicate it here in a matter of moments with Connor McDavid and Elias Lindholm meeting in the center ice circle on top of the Oiler crest, embedded in the ice. And the game is underway. McDavid wins the draw back to Bouchard, who skates right wing to center and lifts it into the Vancouver end. Hronek back to it, far boards. Lost it to Nugent-Hopkins to the line for Ekholm with a long drive. He missed wildly wide of the net. Bouchard near side, pushed out of the zone by Dakota Joshua. He'll leave it back at his own line for Matthias Ekholm. Ekholm, left wing to the red line. Rims it behind the Vancouver net. Quinn Hughes after it near boards. Can't find the puck. It's Zach Hyman with it for the Oilers. Pushed into the wall by Dakota Joshua. Joshua trying to clear the zone. Hughes in there to find it. It comes down low to Nugent-Hopkins, right corner centering. Pass in front, and a one-time chance at the side of the net by McDavid. Missed wide. Hyman recovers it in the left corner. Spinning on the boards away from Hughes. Drops to McDavid, left circle, rink wide, right point. Ekholm waits, shoots. Blocker saved by Shilov's. Rebound in the slot, hopped over the stick of McDavid. Comes to Hyman. He shoots on net, and Shilov's made another good save. Hughes gets it high off the glass. It's batted out to center by Connor Garland, and the Canucks can get a partial change as Ekholm dumps it back into the Vancouver end.
Exactly what you expect from the Oilers on the opening shift of the game. A lot of pressure coming towards Vancouver.
Hughes clears it to the Oiler line. Desharnais back to it. Goes D to D to Darnell Nurse, far side, again to Vincent Desharnais. He passes to center for Dylan Holloway. Right wing to the Vancouver line. Lifts it into the near corner. Tyler Myers is back to it on the end boards. Pushed to the wall by Holloway. Dug free to the right point for Desharnais. Tried a shot. It deflects into the slot and is settled by Leon Draisaitl on the right wing. Draisaitl gets away from JT Miller in the corner. Behind the Vancouver net, around the left circle. Poke check by Myers. Draisaitl still with it on his backhand. Back to the left point. Stood up by Myers. Puck rolled free on the boards. Bounces in skates. Besser wins a battle with Draisaitl. Gets it to Suter, and he'll tip it out to center ice. Hugh Suter leaves at his own line for Ian Cole. Flipped it high in the air to center. Suter took a hit from Draisaitl for his troubles, with Evander Kane controlling at his own line. Kane collided heavily in neutral ice with Zadorov, who went down heavily. Then Kane dumps Patterson as the Canucks dump it back into the Edmonton end. Now a puck deflects up into the netting near side and out of play. 2 minutes and 1 second into a scoreless first period in Game 4 between the Canucks and the Oilers.
Well, it certainly seems Evander Kane got the message that was being really asked about him on the off day yesterday in terms of physicality and whether he'd seen the cross-check from Carlson Susi on Connor McDavid. Evander Kane playing physical first, throws a hit on the neutral zone on Nikita Zadorov, and then, for good measure, dumps Elias Patterson as well.
Canucks forechecking in the Oilers zone off the face-off win. Mikheyev behind the Edmonton net, knocked into the end boards by Susi. Lafferty in to help out, gets it to Mikheyev right wing. Centers for Patterson. Back to the point for Noah Julson. Try to shot through traffic, tip wide of the goal. Mikheyev's got it to the end boards, played it out front into the slot. No Canucks could find it. It's swept to the near side. Mikheyev dumps it behind the net. Patterson with a backhand centering feed. Lafferty missed it. Comes to the line. Zadorov with a long shot. That was tipped in front and missed the net. Derek Ryan on the far boards. Flips it out to center. Zadorov takes it at his own line. Hearing from the Bluebirds here at Rogers Place is Nikita Zadorov. He got it across to Julson, who dumped it into the Oiler end, with both teams completing line changes.
And that was a great response by the Canucks, and Elias Pettersson's line taking on the fourth line of the Edmonton Oilers.
Teddy Bluger in his own zone. Leaves for Quinn Hughes near side. Quick pass left wing to center. Tipped into the Edmonton end by Neil Zoman. Vincent Desharnais behind his own net. Chased down by Linus Carlson on the forecheck. Desharnais banks it out to center. Hughes fires it ahead for Carlson. Left wing to the Oiler line, and he'll dump it back in. Darnell Nurse far corner. Hit hard into the boards by Teddy Bluger. Couldn't clear the zone. Oman digs it free right circle for Bluger. Feeds top of the point. Hronek with a long one-timer. And Pickard makes his first save of the hockey game. Back to Hronek again. He shoots wide of the net. Rebound to the back of the goal. Linus Carlson trying to dig it free. Fighting with Desharnais and McLeod. Carlson goes down in the battle, but plays allowed to continue. And Warren Fogle clears to the point, but not out. Puck is dumped back into the corner. Right wing side by Zadorov, who's taken down by Nurse into the end boards, and this will be an Oiler penalty. As the whistle sounds immediately, and actually that was Dakota Joshua into the forecheck, and now there's a big scrum down low in the corner. But 3:32 into a scoreless first period. The Canucks get the first power play of the game with Darnell Nurse headed to the box.
And the Oilers are trying to send a message early on in this game, but it's a fine line of playing hard and playing physical. Here, it's a roughing penalty that's going to be coming towards Darnell Nurse, who takes, they're calling it cross-check in the back, the upper back. Could have called it roughing after as well, as there's some overhand lefts straight to the chin of Dakota Joshua, but it's a fine line. You want to play physical, but you can also put your team in a situation now in the penalty kill, and a great opportunity for Vancouver to take advantage.
Rick Tocchet said today that the officials were going to try and crack down on the cross-checks, so we've seen that already. Canucks to the power play early in the first, and they win the draw. Hughes, right point for Besser. Down the far boards to Patterson. Feeds the line for Quinn Hughes. Left circle. Miller missed the pass. It rolls into the corner, but he chips it deep for Elias Lindholm. Lindholm tied up on the boards by Desharnais. Miller gets it free. Turned it over middle of the ice, and Derek Ryan is able to clear it back into the Canucks end. Canucks are 3 for 9 on the power play in the series. Scored 2 of those goals in Game 3 the other night here at Rogers Place. Lindholm to the Edmonton line. Left wing pass for JT Miller. Tied up on the boards. Lost the puck. It's cleared back to center by McDavid, who tried to dump it to the Vancouver line, or rather that was Warren Fogle, and Elias Pettersson stood him up. Now here's Patterson. Left wing to center. Drops for Besser. Near boards for Miller. Across the Oiler line. Tied up on the wall by Fogle, who clears it out of the zone. But Quinn Hughes has it, and he'll flip it back to his own line for Elias Pettersson. Canucks struggling on the entries here. Still with more than a minute left in the power play. Miller gains the Oiler line left wing. Drops it back to the point for Patterson. He fires it around the end wall, and Besser cuts in from the right point to meet the puck. Tied up by Connor Brown, and the Oilers get it back down the ice again.
And the Oilers doing a great job of pressuring JT Miller on the left-hand side on the entry. which is forcing a decision from him, rushing that pass generally back to down low or to Quinn Hughes at the top.
Second power play unit's out there now. Here's Joshua, left wing, into the Edmonton zone, makes a move, high slot, leaves near point for Hronek. Into the left corner for Connor Garland. Carrying on the half wall. Garland spins to the faceoff dot, shoots right on. Pickers stopped him off the blocker, rebound in front. Joshua couldn't settle it. Garland's got it again on the left wing. Back to the line for Hronek. Near side, Garland shoots through traffic. It was stopped, but there was a loose puck at the top of the crease. Oilers can't clear. 15 seconds left of the power play. Garland again. Top of the left circle, centered in front. Tipped on goal by Suter. It hit a skate. Suter tries to jam it to the net. It's blocked again. Garland left wing with room. Cutting off the half wall towards the goal. Backhand pass in front. Suter one-timer. Stopped by Pickard. Rebound goes to the far corner. And Garland gets it again. Down low for Nikita Zadorov, far corner, centering pass. Suter can't control it. It's tipped to the corner. And the Oilers are back to even strength as Zadorov gets it in the high slot. Tried a shot, but Desharnais breaks it up and clears it out to center. Ian Cole dumps it back in. Both teams complete changes as the Oilers throw McDavid and Draisaitl out together with Hyman after the penalty kill. And here's McDavid trying to receive a pass. Left wing at center from Ekholm, but it missed him. And it's icing against Edmonton. 5:57 into a scoreless first period. The Canucks and the Oilers in Game 4 at Rogers Place.
Power play 1 could not generate much of anything, but power play 2 coming alive for Vancouver. Connor Garland operating on the left-hand side and getting into the middle of the ice with Dakota Joshua. And that's a great opportunity for Pius Suter. Had 2 looks at it, just couldn't score there, but got the puck through and forced Pickard to make a couple of good saves.
It's the Bluger line out against McDavid and Draisaitl for the face-off in the Oilers zone. Near circle. Bluger won the draw back, but it comes to Draisaitl, and here's a fast break for Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl, left wing, across the Vancouver line, makes a move in his skates, drops far circle. McDavid carries behind the Canuck goal. Passes near circle. Bouchard shoots. Great save by Shilovs, charging out of his crease to cut down the angle, and he turns it over the glass and out of play. 6:10 gone in the first period in Game 4. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey, streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Treat yourself to something tasty anytime at Max's Bakery and Deli. For breakfast, enjoy decadent pastries and, of course, coffee. For lunch, soup, salads, and sandwiches are seriously tasty favorites. And for lunch or dinner, Max's Deli case is stocked with 60 freshly made meals and savories. Eat at a cozy table or take it with you. Grab a treat at Max's Bakery and Deli, Vancouver's ultimate sweet escape. Open daily 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 3105 Oak Street. Online at maxsdeli.ca.
From the location, the service, and right down to the deal, it's nice to know that everything is easy at Ensign Pacific, Vancouver's premier Chrysler Dodge Ram Jeep dealer. Spring into a brand new Jeep Wrangler. Get 5% off MSRP on the ultimate in off-road capability and style, with a full lineup of 2024 Wranglers in stock. Ensign Pacific on 2nd Avenue between Cambie and Maine. Easy to get to, easy to deal with.
Everything's easy at Ensign Pacific.
In today's modern world, there are still a few time-honored traditions in one's life. Things that are a rite of passage. Your grandfather would have experienced this. And certainly, your father was there. And now, it's your turn for a legendary time. Pregame, postgame, even during the game, the number 5 orange.
Hey, this is Connor Garland, and you're on the home of the Canucks. Sportsnet 650.
You're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Own your home. Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. 6 minutes and 10 seconds gone in the first period. Tonight at Rogers Place in Edmonton. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers, and shots are even at 3 apiece. Face-off coming up in the Vancouver zone to our right near circle. It's the Draisaitl line with Kane and Holloway on the ice against the Miller line with Besser and Suter for the Canucks, and the Oilers win the draw. Darnell Nurse down the left wing, played it to the half boards. Nikita Zadorov laid a big check into the wall on Leon Draisaitl, comes up with the puck. Draisaitl chases him back to the corner. Zadorov gets it off the glass and out to center, and it rolls into the Oiler end. Besser on the forecheck, pushes Nurse back into the corner, dug the puck free. It came loose to Desharnais. He'll bank it out to center for Draisaitl. Backhand rink-wide pass, right wing for Dylan Holloway. Into the Canucks end, tried a drop pass into the slot, gave it away to JT Miller, and the Canucks will break back the other way. Miller centers for Suter, into the Edmonton zone, left wing, long shot, blocked away by Pickard to the corner. Besser's after it down low. Can't recover it on the forecheck. Oilers trying to clear the zone. Draisaitl with it. Will lug it middle of the ice to center. Passes right wing for Bouchard. Up in the rush. High slot. Vancouver zone. Tried a shot. Poked off his stick by Hronek before he could get it to the net. And Hughes pounds it off the far boards and back to center ice.
Good job by Philip Hronek to get in the way. Good stick check. Ends up blocking the shot and kills the Edmonton attack.
Now McDavid picks up the puck behind his own goal. He'll accelerate to center. Passes left wing to Ekholm. Back to McDavid. Right wing into the Vancouver end. Near circle. Mishandled the puck. Nugent-Hopkins follows up. He was tied up by Joshua. Couldn't get it to the net. Now McDavid again after it right wing. Lost a battle with Lindholm on the boards. Here's Joshua with speed to the Oiler line. Left wing. Dumps it to the end wall. Lafferty first to it in the corner on the forecheck. Pushed to the ice by Ekholm, but keeps the puck, carries it back to the line, tried to dump it back in. Ekholm cleared it out to center. And then Ian Cole dumps it back in. Canucks will tag up on the delayed offside. Almost 8 minutes gone, first period. No score in Game 4. Canucks lead the series 2-1. Looking to remain undefeated on the road in the playoffs thus far. They're 4-0 to this point. Elias Patterson sweeps the puck into his own zone. Myers back to it. Pokes it away from Ryan McLeod. Elias Patterson, left wing for Mikheyev. To the Edmonton line. Picking up speed. Driving wide on the board. Stops at the hash marks. Spinning back towards the blue line. Then cycles it down low. Patterson wins a battle with McLeod. Got it to Linus Carlson below the goal line. Carlson pushed to the boards by McLeod. Played it into the high slot, but it's broken up. And here's Matthias Janmark out to center for Edmonton. Janmark drops to Corey Perry, gained the Vancouver line, but was quickly stripped of the puck by Ilya Mikheyev, and the Oilers have to regroup again. Susi fires it up the right wing, in behind the Canuck net. Shilov's out of the goal, drops to Philip Hronek. Hronek near boards Mikheyev. Flips it to the Edmonton line. Desharnais back to it, chased down by Bluger, plays across the zone for Darnell Nurse. He attempted a pass to center, intended for Connor Brown, initially broken up by Bluger, but Brown got a handle on it and dumped it in. Shilov's again out of his net. Far corner for Julson. Nice pass. Middle of the ice for Oman. Canucks attacking the Oiler line. Garland got it right wing from Oman. Couldn't play it deep. Julson follows up, sends it into the corner. Bluger. High slot for Niels Oman. Tried a backhand pass to the near boards. Intended for Zadorov. Broken up by Connor Brown. And now it's the Canucks' turn to retreat into their own zone for the puck. Julson with a heavy pass left wing for Miller. In stride into the Oilers zone. Driving the net. Got a snapshot away. Trying to beat Pickard's stick side, but the Oiler goaltender held it out. Now Draisaitl back to center. Gains the Vancouver line on right wing. Rink wide pass left circle for Kane to Bouchard in the slot. Tied up by Suter on the back check. It came to Kane left wing. He tried to center and pass. It deflects to the near boards. Ian Cole with the puck. Tried to clear the zone. Held in by Holloway. To the right wing for Draisaitl. Now back to the line. Bouchard drops left point. Ekholm with a shot. Tipped off a stick to the near circle. And Ian Cole fails to clear. Oilers hold in. Holloway right circle. Try to toe drag between his leg. Keeps the puck for Draisaitl. Took a shot right wing. It was blocked wide of the net. And Ian Cole's back to the rebound to the near corner. Clears it out to center, but away from the play. JT Miller and Leon Draisaitl get tangled up. Miller's going to go to the box. He doesn't like it and gave Draisaitl a couple of slashes on his stick after the whistle. But it's interference against number 9 for the Canucks. And the Oilers get their first power play of the game. And then Ekholm shot the puck towards Miller. Miller settled it and shot it right back at him on his way to the box.
JT Miller's got a look on his face. He's not happy with this call. They're calling this interference along the right-hand side, along the wall, as Miller just gets in the way. The puck is not there, and they're battling along the wall. And he's trying to run some interference there, but I've seen worse calls, I'll be honest with you. This is the second round of the playoffs. That sort of obstruction's been going on all the playoffs, Batch.
Rick Tocchet won't like this because there was a head snap from Leon Draisaitl that drew the call. And so the Oilers get their first power play of the game. Their man advantage is 50% in the series, 4 for 8. 46.4% overall in the postseason, the number 1 power play team in the playoffs thus far.
They're electric on the power play. We don't need to tell you who scores the most goals, but they've got that trio of Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl you got to watch out for. And Evan Bouchard for good measure at the point.
Canucks penalty killers are Bluger, Lindholm, Zadorov, and Julson. Face off to the right of Shilov's of the Vancouver zone. 9:56 gone first period. No score. Canucks and Oilers in Game 4. Lindholm and Draisaitl on the draw. Scrambled face-off goes to the far boards. McDavid gets it free. To the line for Bouchard. Stick handling to the right circle. Passes down low. McDavid to the net. Sanded in front. One-time chance for Draisaitl. Poked away off a stick. Nugent-Hopkins got it left corner for McDavid. Again to Bouchard to the line. Now to the right wing for Leon Draisaitl. Oilers setting up in their spots. Draisaitl leaves down low for McDavid. He'll carry to the top of the right circle. Watched by Bluger. Down low to Draisaitl with a tight angle one-timer. He missed the net, and it deflects off the glass and out of play. 9:38 left in the first period. 1:34 left in the Oiler power play. No score between Vancouver and Edmonton tonight at Rogers Place.
Leon Draisaitl in his office, hovering around that goal line, trying to get that one-timer. And a good job by Shilov to move to his left, but the Canucks get lucky there as Leon flat out missed the target.
Draisaitl and Bluger on the face-off near circle in the Vancouver zone. Bluger won it back to Myers, who skates up the near side and clears it high off the glass back into the Edmonton end. Canuck penalty killers can get a partial change, with Bouchard starting from behind his own net for Edmonton. Evan Bouchard with speed to the Vancouver line. Left wing for Nugent-Hopkins. Back to Bouchard down the boards. Leaves for Nugent-Hopkins, who missed the pass at the line. And again, Edmonton retreats into its defensive zone.
And they won't be changing this power play. Usually power play 2 for the Oilers get the final 30 seconds. But the big guns are still out there.
With a minute left in the man advantage. Here's McDavid with speed. Left wing to the Vancouver line. Rink-wide pass, right point for Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl down the boards on his backhand into the near corner. Leaves for McDavid, cycling on the wall. Now to Bouchard, top of the point. Again to McDavid, cutting into the high slot. Has room, right side. Draisaitl, one-timer. He scores! Archer Shilov did his level best to hold it out. He got a piece of it, but it wasn't enough. And the Oilers lead 1-0.
And it's the same setup you'd expect. Connor McDavid attacking the middle of the ice, drawing in defenders towards him, and opening up the shooting lane for Leon Draisaitl. Archer Shilov did move to the left-hand side. He got there, but the shot goes right through him, actually hits him in the glove, and then the helmet, and it ends up in the back of the net. The movement was decent, just couldn't get his glove on that puck.
Leon Draisaitl scores his 8th of the playoffs on the power play at 11:10 of the first period to give Edmonton the 1-0 lead. The time of the goal is brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at crowmackay.ca. Oilers dump it into the Vancouver end. Derek Ryan after it, right corner. Pushed to the wall by JT Miller. Puck comes free behind the net for Connor Brown. Now to the line for Darnell Nurse. Again to Brown, far boards. Dumps it rink wide into the right wing corner. And it's picked up down low by Matthias Janmark. Janmark tried to cycle. Gave it away to JT Miller, and the Canucks will come to center. Miller right wing for Hughes. Then to Besser into the Oilers zone. Back to Hughes, far circle. Delays of the hash marks. Dumps it behind the net. Suter on the forecheck. Has it left wing corner. Goes to Miller behind the goal. Bank pass to the right point for Quinn Hughes. Hughes middle of the ice, long shot. It was blocked in front by Derek Ryan, and Janmark scoops it out to center as Hughes will take it at his own blue line. 8 minutes left, first period. Oilers lead 1-0 in Game 4. Leon Draisaitl with the lone goal of the game. Hughes, left wing for Patterson in stride into the Edmonton end. Delays, takes a low shot, steered wide off the stick of Pickard. And Evander Kane sends it back to center. For Ryan McLeod to the Vancouver line. Hit by Noah Julson. Puck rolls into the corner. Pedersen sweeps it behind the goal to Zadorov, who's hit hard into the wall by Evander Kane, but he got it out to center nonetheless. Sam Lafferty clears it into the Edmonton end. Kulak back to it near corner. Hit by Pedersen on the forecheck. Centered around to the far boards, and the Oilers will break out. Ceci with a pass to center. Tipped to the Vancouver line by Kulak. Zadorov back to it in the corner. Shrugs off a check from Evander Kane. Got it up the boards, but Ceci knocks down Pedersen. Oilers keep it in deep. Corey Perry, right corner, trying to cut out front. Evander Kane got the puck after Perry missed it. Sent it through the crease and out the far side. Bouchard left corner into the slot. McLeod with room. Hit the goalpost, but it stays out. Looked like he was trying to beat Shilov's glove side. And I believe that one caught the pipe, so the Oilers' penchant for posts continues as the Canucks ice the puck under pressure, and they'll have a face-off in their own end with 6:57 left in the opening frame, and Edmonton up 1-0.
Edmonton really pouring it on here. Not only the shots, but the hits. Evander Kane early on in this game targeting Nikita Zadorov on that left-hand side. And right after that, Ryan McLeod had an excellent opportunity in the middle of the slot. Turned and fired. Just could not hit the back of the net from there, but a premium opportunity for the Oilers.
McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Hyman onto the ice for the Oilers against the Patterson line off the icing call. And the Oilers win the draw. Ekholm Left point, slap pass to the left wing corner, missed by Zach Hyman, but Bouchard pinches down the right wing side. He's hit hard into the boards by Julson, and now Hyman has it behind the Vancouver net. Zach Hyman out the left wing side to the line for Mattias Ekholm. Long shot through traffic. Hit Connor McDavid trying to drive to the goal. He's knocked down by Patterson on the boards. Gets it free to the line for Ekholm. Middle of the ice for Bouchard. Forced out of the zone by Sam Lafferty. And the Canucks can get a partial change with the Oilers regrouping. McDavid in on the right wing. Hit hard by Zadorov. He took him down into the boards. But the Oilers get it free. Bouchard has room. Left circle. Delays. Leaves for Nugent-Hopkins. He'll carry into the corner. Spins back towards the point. Goes to Ekholm. Long drive. Tip. Hit the outside of the goal. Rebound behind the net. Settled by McDavid out the left wing side. Now to Ekholm. Far circle. One-timer. Bouchard. And Shilov makes a great save. Sliding to his right. And holds it out. 6:10 remaining in the first period. It's the Oilers 1 and the Canucks nothing in Game 4 on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Metro Ford. If you worry about gas prices, Magnuson Ford and Metro Ford want to offer you a solution. Test drive one of their amazing electric Mustang Mach-E SUVs for 4 years for as little as $8,000 a year. Drive past the gas station, use your current car as cash with zero interest. Test drive a new Mustang Mach-E electric starting from just $8,000 a year and say goodbye to soaring gas prices. Visit Magnuson Ford or Metro Ford today.
Play where the Canucks play. Northview Golf and Country Club, the official golf course of the Vancouver Canucks, and home of the Jake Milford Canucks Charity Invitational, featuring 2 championship courses designed by the king himself, Arnold Palmer, and the host site of 7 years of PGA Tour history. Whether you play the Ridge or Canal, it's West Coast golf at its finest, and finish your day in Duffy's Sports Grill. Book your tee time now at northviewgolf.com, created by a legend, open to all.
Okay, team, this is the time of year you live for, when you can feel the energy throughout the city.
Priestley, that's a passionate speech you got going. Big playoff game coming up?
No, just planning a little pep talk for the staff at Dunbar Lumber.
Really? Because it sounded a lot like...
Like an important time of year where people start planning their spring projects. Yeah, this is like playoff time for Dunbar Lumber.
Got it. Maybe try sharing it with people next time instead of this empty parking lot.
Buzz off, Cebulski.
Dunbar Lumber, the smart alternative. Visit them in Vancouver, Ladner, and opening soon in Tilbury's Industrial Park.
Hey, this is JT Miller, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
Jack 96.9 is playing whatever, and they're giving away tickets to every Canucks home playoff game. Tune in to Jack weekday mornings for your chance to win. Just tell your smart speaker to play Jack 96.9. And a special hello to our listeners on the island tuning in on Jack 103.1 in Victoria. 6:10 left in the first period tonight at Rogers Place in Edmonton. The Oilers lead the Canucks 1-0 on a power play goal by Leon Draisaitl. His 8th of the playoffs from Connor McDavid and Evan Bouchard. Face off of the Vancouver zone to our right far circle. Won by Lindholm behind his own net for Tyler Myers. Shrugs off a forecheck from Evander Kane, but lost the puck to Dylan Holloway. Passes left circle for Draisaitl. Back to the line. Darnell Nurse with a long shot. Blocked in front by Ian Cole. Nurse gets it back, throws it to the net again. It missed wide of the target. And on the near side, Dakota Joshua battling on the boards, can't clear. He was pushed to the wall by Dylan Holloway. Now Nurse far circle, try to shot, but behind the play, Tyler Myers has gone down in a heap. And I think Evander Kane might have got him well away from the puck. As Nurse drove the net, or had the puck left circle, and Evander Kane caught Tyler Myers in the face with a cross check. Myers back on his feet is going to skate off. Kane is going to go off, and the Canucks are going to go to the power play. And the question is, how many minutes will this penalty be?
And Tyler Myers skating off to the Canucks bench. He's bleeding from the nose as well.
It's a double minor for high sticking. So a big opportunity for the Canucks, a 4-minute power play as Myers was cut by Kane.
And Kane leads with the stick. You could have called this a cross-check. They're calling this high sticking, 4 minutes. But this is him trying to create space. But he leads with the stick, and that's what's going to cause the problem here for the Edmonton Oilers. Another great opportunity for Vancouver. Power play 1 needs to win this faceoff, as their entries were very weak to start off this game. This is a big faceoff.
5:48 left in the first. Oilers up 1-0. Big chance for the Canucks to draw level. Well, the Oilers win the faceoff. They get it out to center, but Hughes has it to the red line, and he'll try to break back in. Quinn Hughes left boards. Watched by Nugent-Hopkins, drops to Patterson, who in turn leaves for Miller, and now to Besser, left wing. He'll fire it in behind the Oiler net. Comes back to the right point. JT Miller with it. Pushed to the line by McLeod. Cycles down the boards to Lindholm. Right wing half boards to Patterson. He plays it below the goal line, but Desharnais's got it for Edmonton. Got it loose to Ryan McLeod, far side. Centers middle of the ice for Nugent-Hopkins, and he'll take his time clearing it down the ice.
And that's the Oilers are winning puck battles right now along the wall. The Canucks have to up their battle level.
Patterson, left wing to the Edmonton blue line, dumps it into the right corner. Besser's after it on the forecheck. Chips it loose down low. Nurse tried to glove it to the wall, but Lindholm gets it free to the line for Quinn Hughes. Right half boards to Elias Patterson. Centers for Lindholm. To Hughes, top of the point, long wrist shot. He missed the target, and Miller gets it on the left wing half wall. JT Miller clears it to the right wing side for Patterson. Passes down low to Besser. Pushed to the boards by Susi. Nurse in there to help out. Lindholm and Patterson collapse down low to try and get the puck loose, but the Oilers have it instead. And Connor Brown passes to center for Nurse. Left wing. Here's a short-handed chance for Edmonton. And a goal! And Shilov makes a great save on Matthias Janmark, driving the net off the far wall. Canucks regrouping in their own end. The second power play unit is onto the ice now. And Pius Suter leaves at his own line for Connor Garland. Garland back to Suter, again to Garland, middle of the ice, into the Edmonton end, tied up by McLeod, keeps the puck right point, dumps it behind the goal for Joshua left corner. He's hit it to the boards by Desharnais. Pius Suter in to help out. It's sent free though, and Ryan McLeod gets it for the Oilers, can't clear. Hronek holds in top of the point. Passes right wing to Zadorov, dumped it to the corner, but it's broken up and cleared by Matthias Ekholm. Still 2:10 left in the Evander Kane double minor. Just under 4 minutes left first period. Oilers lead game 4, 1-0. Nugent-Hopkins breaks up a play in his own zone, and Edmonton gets it out to center yet again.
And the entries are a real problem for power play 1 and power play 2. They just can't get through the blue line. A good job by denying the blue line by the Oilers, but the Canucks have to play a little bit faster here.
Canucks top unit back again. Here's Besser, middle of the ice. Left wing for Miller. Into the Edmonton zone. Try to rink-wide pass that tipped off a stick, far point. Lindholm holds in and dumps it around the end wall. To Miller, left half boards. Backhand pass to the line for Quinn Hughes. Darting down the near side. Tied up on the boards by Derek Ryan. And the Oilers get it out yet again.
If there's any 50-50 puck battle right now, Edmonton's winning every single one. They're playing with desperation.
Now here's Patterson. Middle of the ice, into the Edmonton zone. Passes right wing for Besser. Delays, try to rink-wide pass, broken up in the slot by McLeod, and Ekholm gets it back down the ice. It bounces in on Shilov's. Handles top of the crease and then sweeps it far boards to Elias Lindholm. Still more than a minute left in the Canuck power play. 2:55 left in the first. Oilers up 1-0 in game 4. Hughes to center. Drops to Connor Garland. Left wing into the Oilers zone. Near boards Miller. Back for Hughes. Top of the point. Again to Miller. Left wing. Towards the goal. Passes down low. Garland goes back into forehand. Stopped by Pickard. It's loose in the crease. Canucks are digging away at it. But the Oiler goaltender covers up and gets the whistle. As Joshua is cleared out of the blue paint by Desharnais, who's into it with Connor Garland too. And the linesmen have to get in and separate players from both teams with 2:38 left in the first. 50 seconds left in the Vancouver power play. The Oilers lead the Canucks 1-0 in game 4.
There's a real nastiness to the way that the Edmonton Oilers are playing early in game 4, but a great opportunity for the Canucks. And Connor Garland trying to move in from the left-hand side, and the puck was loose. Dakota Joshua was digging away at it, but physical play by Matthias Ekholm and Desharnais, but an excellent job by Pickard to seal off the bottom of the net. The veteran goaltender with his best save of the night.
He stopped all 4 Vancouver shots to this point in the game. Shilovs has made 5 saves on 6 Edmonton shots at the other end of the ice, so there hasn't been a lot of rubber for either goaltender. And the Canucks still on the power play win the faceoff of the Oilers zone. Hughes near point. Goes left wing half boards to Connor Garland. Garland down the wall. Drops it back to Hughes at the line. Goes rink wide right point for Filip Hronek. Hronek skating downhill. Try to shot pass. Tipped away by Nurse and cleared down the ice by Nugent-Hopkins for Edmonton. Under 30 seconds remaining in the Vancouver man advantage now. Quinn Hughes at his own line. Skates to center. Into the Edmonton end. Dumps it left boards. Dakota Joshua's after it on the forecheck. Is stripped of the puck by Warren Fogle. Oilers get it down again. McLeod into the forecheck. Battling with Hronek. Garland back to help out. Has it behind his own net. 10 seconds left in the man advantage. Here's Garland. Winding right wing to center. Mishandled the puck. Cleared it into the Edmonton zone. Bouchard gets it for the Oilers. Throws it up the boards. As McLeod stepped out of the way of a big hit attempt from Julson, he tried to run him over. Canucks get it deep, but Kane's out of the box, and Vancouver's 0 for 3 on the power play in the first period. And here's McDavid onto the ice. Bank pass right wing for Hyman. Into the Vancouver zone with a lane to the net. Centering pass for Ekholm driving down the left wing. He couldn't get it on goal, and it deflects to the corner instead. Miller down low, clears to the line. Draisaitl turned it over. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Canucks. Besser away down the right wing. Bluger with him. Besser trying to get the shot away. Draisaitl stripped him with the puck on the back check, then cross-checked him into the end boards. The officials look the other way, and Bluger dumps it behind the net. He's after it down low. Besser couldn't receive the pass. It comes free for Hyman on the near side. Zach Hyman pinned to the boards by Teddy Bluger. We're about to enter the final minute of the first period. And Lindholm plays it loose. Left point. Ian Cole, long shot. It was blocked in front as Ekholm was cross-checked Carlson to the ice, rather. And now here's Hyman back to the Vancouver line on left wing. Zach Hyman pushed to the inboards by Myers. Gets it free, far side. Connor McDavid off the bench control. Spins away from Bluger. Into the high slot. Try to backhand pass. The lane was blocked by Carlson. Oilers keep it in. Long shot for the line. Bounce to the side of the goal. Myers cleared it behind the net, but Draisaitl has it down low. 30 seconds left of the period. Draisaitl turns it over again. Here's Bluger out to center. Try to pass right wing for Myers. Drive it to the Oiler line. He couldn't receive it. Bluger follows up and dumps it in, and Picker's out of his net to handle. Cal Pickard plays it near corner. Carlson on the forecheck. Lost a battle to Susi. Got it up the wall, but not out. Zadorov dumps it back right wing side. 10 seconds left in the period. As Kulak tried to clear the zone, but cleared it out of play instead, and the faceoff will stay in the Edmonton end of the ice. Get your tickets for the Canucks online 50-50 draw. Go to Canucks.com/50-50 to enter. Ticket sales close at the end of the second intermission. Must be 19 plus and located in BC at the time of purchase to play. Know your limit. Play within it.
And this faceoff will be in Edmonton zone. Plenty of time to win a faceoff, get a shot off here, and try to equalize this game.
8 seconds left in the period. Face off to the left of Pickard in the Oilers zone. Make sure to stay tuned for Canucks Central at the intermission with Satyar Shah, Bick Nazar, and Brett Festerling coming up in mere moments. Patterson to take the draw. Opposite Nugent-Hopkins for the Oilers. Patterson wins it far boards. Garland missed it. It's played to the end wall. Kulak gets it free for Nugent-Hopkins. He'll clear it out to center. And that is going to do it for the first period. Oilers outshoot the Canucks 7-4 in the opening 20 minutes, and they get the lone goal of the game on a power play from Leon Draisaitl. It's Edmonton 1 and Vancouver nothing after 1 in Game 4.
The Oilers have really ramped up their play in this game, winning a lot of puck battles, forcing the issue for the Canucks, but the Canucks did have opportunities on the power play. 0 for 3 in the opening period and 3 shots on goal. They're going to get back into this game. They got to win more puck battles back, and that's something that they have to focus on because the level of desperation that Edmonton played that first period, the Canucks have to match.
Canucks trailing the Oilers 1-0 after 1, and Canucks Central at the intermission is coming up next on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey, streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
All right, son, playground time.
Dad, I'm not a child.
I know. We're going to the greatest playground in the world, the great outdoors.
Oh, can we go to Siwash first?
Yep.
This summer, before you head to the hills or the range, gear up at Siwash Sports for the largest selection of optics in the valley, from Zeiss and Vortex to Sig Sauer, Scorpion, Leopold, and Burris. Shop BC's newest Browning and Winchester dealer, the Fraser Valley's Siwash Sports, in Chilliwack and online at siwashsports.ca.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus.
Hey Insiders, TSI Mike here. We've got another night of NHL Stanley Cup playoff action ahead. Thank you so much for being here and hitting that like button. If you haven't done so already, please get on it. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Join up as an insider today. Let's get over 19,000. We're almost there, heading into tonight, just short of 19,000. And let's get to 20,000 insiders, subscribers by the Canucks game tomorrow night. So that's the goal. The push for 20,000 subscribers is on. It's up to you guys. Hit that subscribe button and then share it out to your friends. Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Send them an email. Get them in the chat and let's have some fun and talk some smack. Enjoy. We'll see you guys back in the chat.
The near corner leaves for McDavid, cycling on the wall. Down to Bouchard, top of the point. Again to McDavid, cutting into the high slot. Has room, right side. Draisaitl, left-handed. He scores! Archer Shilovs did his level best to hold it out. He got a piece of it, but it wasn't enough. And the Oilers lead 1-0.
And it's the same setup you'd expect.
Edmonton with a 1-0 lead against the Vancouver Canucks in a pivotal Game 4. Canucks with a 2-1 series lead, and this is Canucks Central at the intermission on the home of your Canucks, Sportsnet 650. Satyar Shah with Brett Festerling and with Bick Nazar. And as always, get your thoughts into our Dunbar Lumber text inbox, 650-650. And we have a lot to get to, the Canucks being down 1-0. And overall, I thought, for the most part, the Canucks are doing a lot of decent things, but then what happens is special teams rears its ugly head. It works out for Edmonton on their one power play opportunity. The Canucks get 3 penalties. Power play opportunities. One's a double minor to Evander Kane for cross-checking Tyler Myers in the face. And really, whatever life the Canucks had, their power play really sucked the life out of them.
Really did. And it's not as if there was overwhelming chance generation, even 5-on-5 for Vancouver, but you get these opportunities to generate 6 minutes there on the power play through 20 minutes. And the Vancouver Canucks have taken 3 shots, and I think they've all come from Connor Garland or Connor Garland-related setups on power play 2.
Yeah, the power play was more detrimental to them than 5-on-5.
Yeah, and Mark probably had the best chance on the Canucks power play, and that's a short side breakaway the other way.
Yeah, out of 4 minutes, the only somewhat opportunity I saw was Miller down to Garland. He pulls it back in a forehanded jam, but that's not really a great A either, right? You're trying to generate some scrambles in front, but that wasn't really a good opportunity.
No, it really wasn't. So let's work back to, and we'll get to how the Edmonton Oilers made it 1-0, and it starts all with a shift in the Canucks end by the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl's on the ice, and we talk so much about trying to alleviate pressure when you're on against Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, and part of it is, hey, you got to get clears when you can get them. Hold on to pucks, make the right play, don't make panic plays. And a player who's had some struggles in the playoffs so far, a lot of bad luck, right? There's been a lot of bad luck. In the last game, we defended Ian Cole for boxing out Connor McDavid. The puck hits him in the chest and it goes in. It's like, hey, things happen. I'm not sure what else you can do on that play. But he's got 2 chances to clear the puck. Doesn't get it out. And eventually it leads to JT Miller taking a penalty. And yeah, you can say JT takes a bad interference call, but it's literally the worst thing you can do against Edmonton is give them free time in your zone. And when you have 2 chances to clear it and you don't, it's begging for a goal against or a penalty. And it led to the penalty.
I guess it's that catch-22, right? Of Rick Tocchet saying, have some composure, make the plays. Because the first one, he's trying to throw it up, and it just hits Holloway.
Those things happen,
and maybe there's a play. But the second one, again, you're trying to go up the wall, then it stopped. And
he had time. It's not even about...
That's the thing. He had time.
Maybe you can't make time to connect play, but you have time, to me, Brett, to at least make sure you get that puck out of your zone.
Yeah. He completely flubs it. And I think it's Cole not necessarily knowing where the other players are, right? It's not taking that time to realize, and I get Connor McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman are flying around and they got, they're just rovers. They don't really have a set position, but you can tell Cole gets the puck. He's flat-footed. He doesn't know where they are. It's a bit of a panic button and he just gets no wood on it. That leads to more time. And the big thing against that line, those details really matter. Those 30 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it is, to get fresh bodies on makes a big difference against that line.
Again, I know Rick Tocchet said, hey, there's plays to be made, but I imagine that's the stress when you're a D-man. You're out there against McDavid. You're out there against Draisaitl, Hyman, and it's so much mental tax to be out there against them. You win the puck, and you think, oh my goodness, they're probably going to be on me right away because those are their opportunities to pounce. And so you try to make some panic plays and you want to be composed, but at the same time, those guys are hovering and buzzing around you.
Yeah, where is this guy? And they're so good at stripping pucks, and it's just, you're panicked, you have flat foot. And even if you're getting in a race with, 2 of those, 3 of those guys, they're usually going to beat that if you're going flat-footed versus Cole. So it's panic a bit.
Absolutely. And I think that's the thing more than anything else. And that leads to the Canucks going on the PK. Now, I thought last game, despite the fact Edmonton scored 2 goals on the power play, the Canucks PK did a really good job. And they weren't giving up the chance they gave up, which ultimately led to the goal against right there in that first period to Leon Draisaitl. The Canucks kind of get out of position a little bit, guys, on this. So break it down. How does Leon Draisaitl get so much space to get the one-timer off to beat Artur Shilov's.
I know a lot of people are texting in about Ian Cole on this penalty kill. And Brett, I want to get your perspective. You've been in those spots, former NHLer, of what happens when you're a D-man in those spots. But for me, he has to go because Dakota Joshua misses a puck. And when that guy gets too high, I imagine as a D-man, you're kind of forced to, because it's not just open space, it's open space to Connor McDavid. And you have to go close that down.
Yeah. Connor McDavid's number one. The only thing he's thinking about when he comes off his half wall is attack the middle and draw people in. That's all they're trying to do, is just open seams and open gaps. McDavid does it better than anybody in the league. And you're right, he just attacks the middle. Joshua's too high. The biggest thing is Bouchard's got full control of the puck on the blue line. Attacking Bouchard is going to get you absolutely nowhere, and you're just going to have to collapse.
And from a bad angle, right? You're coming. If you're tracking McDavid and going toward Bouchard, okay, I can understand it. So you're cutting one off.
Yeah.
But you're essentially trying to attack the midpoint without Bouchard. He's not under duress. He's got the puck. It's not as if the puck's waiting to come to him. So it's an easy pass to slide it to McDavid, even if it looks tight.
Yeah.
It's professional hockey. Like, Bouchard will slide that over to McDavid, no problem, and he's already behind Joshua at that stage.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Joshua has that pass, or the shooting lane, right? So it's just, I would say, one, don't get as high stretched out. Try to stay at the top of those circles just to get in the shooting lane at least. You can close that gap once you get it, but to extend that seam or make that seam bigger and not have either of those, it just opens up McDavid. And then Cole's in this terrible spot where are you letting the best player in the world attack the middle at the top of the circles, or are you leaving Draisaitl for the one-timer down at the line? Really, Draisaitl down at the line should be the less dangerous play than McDavid at the top of the circles, but he has to front that, and then Draisaitl's so good at that shot. I don't know how he gets those angles, but he does.
Because if McDavid comes downhill and rips that shot and scores, and Cole's standing there, we're still getting the same text. But, well, why didn't you go out to Connor McDavid?
Cole found himself in a no-win situation.
Yeah.
It was pick your poison, right?
Yeah.
It was either give up the back door or give up Connor McDavid coming down your throat and shooting it down, right? So it's pick your poison on that one. To me, what needs to happen there is the recognition by Dakota Joshua, where it's like, okay, I came out too far.
Backside.
Cole's going, I got to go and cover my teammate. And you see on the good PKs, when they have good chemistry, that's how teammates pick up each other, right? They'll see somebody going out of position, you rotate to pick him up instead of going to the same space yourself. And maybe it's not on Joshua. He gets out of position initially, but I think once you're out of position, you see your teammate commit, you got to go down and try to take away that backdoor play. So I put that one more on Joshua than anything else.
I'd be curious too. I'm not a goalie guy, but it looks like Shilov kind of went for a desperation reach out. I imagine he thought Draisaitl was a lot tighter because he goes off his shoulder. So if you push and you're all compact, does that one suck in a little bit easier? No, again, it's tough.
100%. And to those saying, Cole needs to do quicker math, there's two guys on McDavid already. There wasn't, because Joshua was already overcommitted. So Joshua's out of position.
He's not influencing Connor McDavid anyway.
Joshua got out of position. Now, again, it's one of the things we didn't see last game, them getting out of position like that. Even the goal Draisaitl scored that came around, it was kind of a slow-moving play. It was more Shilov's losing track of the puck, couldn't come across fast enough. That was way too fast coming across, and when that happens, and Shilov's almost made the save. It looked like it went off his chest and off his mask and into the goal.
Yeah, I thought it was good movement by him. It's just, I think the big thought is you need to stay tighter. With this group, the default needs to protect the middle and stay tight. If you want to give them the outside and they want to hammer it, so be it.
Do we want to take a kick at the Canucks power play? They get 3 power play opportunities.
What's there to break down?
I mean, the first power play opportunity was dreadful. Couldn't even get set up. And it finally got going with the second unit. And Connor Garland really taking matters into his own hands and really forcing the issue and created a couple rebound chances. The Canucks came close to at least, putting some pressure on Calvin Pickard. But outside of that, and outside of, again, Connor Garland, when there was 50 seconds left on the double minor where he drove towards the net, if it wasn't for Connor Garland, the Canucks would have 0 attempts on goal, I think, on these 3 power plays.
2 things that really stood out for me, it's full credit to Edmonton. They were quick to jump on opportunities to pressure the puck and also anticipating them. It wasn't just, let's go commit to this. As soon as the pass was made along the boards, Canucks player had no time with it. It was not even time to just take the pass. It was, you're getting pressured, and they lost a lot of those battles.
Yeah, it was, I'm committing to this pressure where the puck's going, but then the 2 other guys were going to pressure the 2 options that they had, before the puck even made it to the first guy. So there was just no options for that guy when he got the puck. Canucks really need to try to use this bumper, because that release that they use where they rim it around and then rim it back around, Edmonton's got a D going behind the net. They got a winger going to the winger. There's just no options there. So, yeah, we'll give Edmonton the credit there, but Canucks didn't help themselves. And you're right, they didn't win any wall battles in that.
The entry just looked so poor. They went back to that stationary guy at the blue line, and Miller even had time on one and threw one across the ice, and it hit an Edmonton player. It's that sort of stuff. I thought you corrected that in game 1 and in game 2.
Yeah, this one here says from David Regina, the refs need to make the right call. Cross-checking drawing blood is 5 in a game every time. Look it up. Okay, maybe you can quibble with that, but I'm not sure if the Canucks had one more minute, they would have done anything on the power play anyways with how they were going.
Well, that one was called high sticking, not cross-checking.
It was high sticking.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was double minor. Yeah. All right, a lot of reaction on text inbox. We'll do more as we get through into the second intermission. A lot of criticism in the text inbox. It took a bad period, but Canucks fans not happy with how that first period went. But however, the team's only down 1-0. We'll see what they have in store for us in the second period. It's Sat, Brett, and Bick. We'll be back for the second intermission. The second period calls coming up next. Batch and Randy from Edmonton, Canucks and Oilers. That's next on Home of Your Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
As BC's favorite team continues their playoff run, visit any Tiletown location and receive 20% off any regular priced in-stock tile. Locally owned and operated since 1971, Tiletown offers free design and consultation, do-it-yourself supplies, and their Schluter certified staff have the knowledge to help you with your project. Get started today at Tiletown. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations in Victoria, Richmond, and Langley, and online at mytiletown.ca.
You know, to be a truly great team, you need contributions from the top of the lineup right down to the bottom. And that's exactly what you'll get from the West Coast Auto Group. They've got their stars, West Coast Toyota, Mazda, Nissan, Kia, and Ford Lincoln. Plus, they have the role players that play a big part too. And that's where their famous service comes in. Great service, great selection, great team. The West Coast Auto Group, just over the bridge in Maple Ridge. Visit them online at westcoastautogroup.com.
Your feet, the silent workhorses of your body. They've danced you through life's highs, sprinted you through challenges, even stood firm on the green for that last putt. But even the strongest of supporters need support. That's where Kintec comes in, not just with shoes, but with custom orthotics that ensure every step is aligned and comfortable. Visit kintec.net and discover how orthotics can transform your every step.
Do you want to play where the Canucks play? And no, I'm not talking Rogers Arena. It's Northview Golf and Country Club. Dan Murphy here. It's easy to see why Northview is the official golf course of the Vancouver Canucks. 2 championship courses designed by Arnold Palmer, world-class facilities, and Duffy's Sports Grill, the perfect spot to finish off a great day. Or if you're like me, perhaps start the day. Northview, designed by the King, open to all. Book a tee time now at northviewgolf.com.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Hey, it's Satyar Shah from Sportsnet 650. Wildfires have the power to drastically change lives in BC, and as wildfires become more frequent and intense, we can all take proactive measures to protect our province, our homes, and our communities. BCAA and FireSmart BC have joined forces to help educate British Columbians in wildfire prevention and preparedness. Get FireSmart with BCAA and FireSmart BC. For tips and resources, visit bcaa.com/firesmart.
As you gear up to support your favorite team this spring, know that your favorite Kubota equipment dealer is elevating their game too. Swing by Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment, your trusted full-line Kubota dealers, and up your game with 0% financing and special spring deals on Kubota gear. Big or small, you'll receive the respect and support you deserve. Visit one of Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment's 6 BC locations or explore DLEAMC.com.
Angry Otter Liquor, you're at home here.
It's playoff time across BC, and Angry Otter Liquor is thrilled to rally with hockey fans on the road to the Cup. Score big at Angry Otter Liquor, your ultimate hockey headquarters. Ice-cold game day beer, spirits for every level of team spirit, and snacks to fuel your victory celebrations. Explore game day essentials with Angry Otter Liquor and celebrate every win with the perfect drink. You don't have to be a member, but it pays to be one. Learn more at angryotterliquor.crs.
Hey, this is Thatcher Demko.
Susi with a one-timer. Good save by Demko down low. Rebound chance for Evander Kane. Demko stopped that, too.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Rogers Place in Edmonton. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. The Oilers lead the Canucks 1-0 after 1 in Game 4. Canucks lead the series 2-1. And Randeep, Vancouver needs to get back to its game in the second period.
The first period was full of 8 minutes of penalties for both teams. Kind of killed the flow 5-on-5. But for Vancouver, the longer this game goes 5-on-5, it benefits them. They got to get back to their game, which is playing that possession game and getting shots off the forecheck. Only one even strength shot for the Canucks in that period. They have to get back and playing their game.
Canucks in white will skate from left to right in the second period. The Oilers in blue will go from right to left. Edmonton outshot Vancouver 7-4 in the first period, in spite of the fact the Canucks had 6 minutes on the power play. They went 0 for 3 while Edmonton went 1 for 1 on its man advantage, and that's the difference in the game to this point. McDavid line will start against the Lindholm line, as we saw at the beginning of the game, to begin this second period. And it is McDavid and Lindholm at center ice that will contest the faceoff. Lindholm wins it cleanly back into the Vancouver zone to our left. Filip Hronek banks it right wing to center. Garland lost the puck to Ekholm, got it ahead to Nugent-Hopkins. He'll chip it left corner in the Vancouver zone. Hughes and Hyman back for the puck. Hronek in to help out. Pushed to the inboards by McDavid. Connor McDavid, left corner, carrying up the boards to the line for Ekholm. Long shot, sails well over the net of Shilov's, and Bouchard holds in right point. Backs it back to the line. Nugent-Hopkins tried a shot, deflected by Bouchard. It never got to the net. Hughes bats it away and now passes to center for Connor Garland. Garland with speed into the Oilers zone, left wing. Around Bouchard, got a shot in tight, and Pickard made the save. Across to his post. Canucks continue to forecheck in the Oilers zone. Bouchard behind his own net for Edmonton. With the Canucks completing a change in the Miller line out on the ice now. Oilers will change to Bouchard behind his own goal. Still setting up the breakout with the Draisaitl line now on the ice. Bouchard, left wing to center for Holloway. Into the Vancouver zone, centers for Kane, who chipped it wide of the net from the high slot as he was poked off the puck. Now Holloway right point. Cycles down the far boards to Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl to the right wing point. Gets it back to Holloway on the end boards. Pushed to the wall by Suter. Evander Kane in to help out. Centers in front for Draisaitl. He missed the pass. Comes near circle. One-timer for Nurse. Stopped by Shilovs with Holloway right on top of him. And he holds for the whistle. 1:21 into the middle frame. Oilers up 1-0 in Game 4.
Impressive save there by Artur Shilovs as Darnell Nurse really leaned into that shot. But there was traffic in front of the net. Before that, Connor Garland streaking down the left-hand side gets his third shot on goal in this game. 3 out of 5 shots for the Canucks have come through Connor Garland. Other players need to kind of ramp up the offensive play here.
Patterson line out for the face-off of the defensive zone. It's the McLeod line for the Oilers. And Edmonton wins the draw. Desharnais, middle of the ice, left point for Nurse. Dumps it behind the net for Ryan McLeod. He's tied up by Patterson on the end board. Zadorov in to help out. Knocked the puck free, and Patterson passes out of the zone for Sam Lafferty. Lafferty, left wing to center. Dumps it behind the Edmonton net. He's in after it on the forecheck, as is Mikheyev, but it comes loose to Warren Foegele, and the Oilers will turn back up ice. Foegele trying to backhand pass to center. Batted out of the air by Patterson. Got it up the left wing for Lafferty. He'll tip it deep and chase Desharnais down low. Mikheyev's after it on the forecheck, too. It comes to Nurse behind his own net. Darnell Nurse on the near side. Heavy pass right wing. Deflected into the Vancouver end off Ryan McLeod, and he'll chase it down right corner, where he's hit hard by Zadorov into the boards. Julson with a pass up the near side for Bluger. Feeds middle of the ice for Mikheyev. Driving to the Oiler line. He dumps it in. And Susi's back to it behind his own net. Hit hard by Bluger as he cleared it near corner for Corey Perry. Perry up the boards. Got it to McLeod. Left wing to center for Foegele. Gained the red line. Couldn't clear it in deep. And Bluger bats it back to Hronek deep in his own end. Filip Hronek. Heavy pass right wing to center. Linus Carlson deflects it to Bluger. Right wing with a low backhand shot. Kicked out by Pickard. And Carlson's after it right corner. Rims it around left point. It's out of the reach of Quinn Hughes. He'll have to chase it back into his own zone with Matthias Janmark in right after it. Hughes Scoops it around the near side. Linus Carlson, right wing at center, protects the puck, couldn't dump it in, but Elias Lindholm follows up and helps him out. Pickard leaves his crease, turns it over. Carlson sends it in front. The pass was in Lindholm's skates, and he couldn't direct it goalwards. Janmark to center, gave it away to Lindholm at the red line. Canucks driving back in. Lindholm right circle. Carlson fanned on a shot. He was poke checked by Ekholm. Bouchard on the end boards is after it. Hit hard by Lindholm. But the Oilers get it free. Derek Ryan can't clear the zone. Garland holds in right side, battling with Ryan top of the circle. Myers in to help out, but it's played past him back to center, and Lindholm leaves at the Vancouver blue line for Ian Cole.
The Canucks doing a much better job playing in the neutral zone, and Linus Carlson leading the way, playing a physical brand of hockey.
As Ian Cole iced the puck, trying to make a pass up the left wing, and the faceoff comes back into the Vancouver end, with the Lindholm line out against the McDavid line for the defensive zone faceoff. 3:10 gone, second period. Oilers up 1-0. In Game 4, Leon Draisaitl with the lone goal of the game on a first period power play. Ian Cole behind his own net, cleared it around the far wall, all the way down. Icing's waved off, though, as Pickard leaves his crease and passes near corner for Ekholm, who's hit hard into the boards by Connor Garland. Joshua steps up on McDavid, played it back into the Edmonton zone, but it's delayed offside, and McDavid's going to skate it to center. For Hyman to the Vancouver line, drops to McDavid, left circle, driving wide on Myers, got a shot away. Shilov's made the save. Myers clears the rebound to the corner, but Nugent-Hopkins has it left wing side. Nugent-Hopkins near circle with a shot down low. Shilov didn't see it. He was being screened by Cole, but he stopped it off his right pad anyway. Zach Hyman working on the end boards in the Vancouver zone. Stripped of the puck by Garland near corner. Got it up the boards to Joshua. He'll center to center for JT Miller, who tips it to the Oiler blue line. Bouchard behind his own net. Both teams completing changes. Evan Bouchard into the Vancouver zone. Gave it away to Julson. He'll pass right wing for Besser. Throws it rink wide. Tipped in deep by Suter. Ekholm's back to it far corner. Suter hot on his heels. Ties him up on the boards. Patterson gets it free. In front for Besser. Drops for Suter with a quick wrist shot. That might have caught the outside of the post, as Pickard got a piece of it too. Good luck for Brock Besser. After a great Game 3, Canucks working it around the Oilers zone. Julson with a line with a shot that was tipped well wide of the net. Nugent-Hopkins back to it behind his own goal. Pressure by Patterson, threw it up the wall. Zadorov throws it back to the net. It went through the crease and out the near side, and Karem's out to center ice.
And this is more like Canucks hockey, getting the puck deep, attacking on the forecheck.
Besser dumps it left wing. Niels Oman's after it down low. Delays. Bluger high slot. One-timer right on. And Pickard was there to make the save. Square to the shooter, and he holds on for the whistle. 4:42 into the second period. It's Edmonton 1 and Vancouver 0 from Rogers Place in Edmonton.
There was a lot of room to operate down low for the Canucks on that shot, as the puck was dumped in, and Evan Bouchard was all by himself covering two Vancouver Canucks players, as Matthias Ekholm had jumped up into the neutral zone, and a one-timer comes in from the slot, the left-hand side to Pickard. Unfortunately, the Canucks couldn't pick a corner there, but they had numbers.
As Teddy Bluger didn't get all of that one, he was smiling in frustration afterwards, knowing that that was an opportunity wasted. Canucks fourth line stays out for the offensive zone faceoff, but the Oilers control. Evander Kane passes rink wide right wing to center for Leon Draisaitl. Try to make a move around Linus Carlson at the Canuck blue line, but Carlson broke it up and sweeps it back into the Edmonton end. Nurse clear to the line. Carlson almost held in, but instead Kane's away to center. Right wing for Draisaitl into the Canucks zone. Pass left circle, hopped over the stick of Holloway. And they'll battle for it down low near side. Holloway and Bluger trying to dig it free. Myers in to help out. Takes a hack from Kane, but gets it out to center nonetheless. Nurse for Desharnais at his own line. Passes through the middle. Evander Kane tips it right corner, but it deflects up into the netting and out.
And that's one area of improvement already in this period compared to the first period, is denying the blue line. The Canucks are a lot better with their active sticks at the blue line. They're not allowing Edmonton to penetrate the defensive zone, which is something that was very easy in the first period. So the Canucks a lot more competitive defensively and in the neutral zone as well.
5:19 into this second period. Oilers up 1-0. Canucks win a faceoff of their own line. Hronek banks it right wing side. Lafferty gets it deep. Pickard out of his net to handle. Fired it up the near boards. Oilers can't clear their own zone. Patterson held in, but now it's banked off the glass and out to center on the near side by Corey Perry. Here's Perry left wing to the Vancouver zone. Fed to the right circle. Ryan McLeod tried a shot, but I think it was Quinn Hughes that got his stick in the lane and tipped it out of play.
Great commitment there by Quinn Hughes, as there was a shooting lane, but a quick adjustment to get his stick in the lane. And right before that, Teddy Bluger on the back check also got his stick in the lane as well. So you know Edmonton's going to attack off the rush. You have to make sure you work hard and you get back into the play.
Second period isn't even 6 minutes old, and the Canucks already have more shot attempts in the middle frame than they had in the entirety of the first period. Face-off in their zone. Won by Miller for Hronek, and he'll skate it left wing to center and clear it into the Edmonton zone for Besser left wing. Chance for a 2-on-1. Besser in tight. Shot stopped by Pickard. Rebound in front. Canucks digging away at it. They can't get it back to the net. And the Oilers clear it to the line. Hughes held in at first. Janmark gets it out of the zone, but Besser collects again left wing. Into the Edmonton end. Delays. Top of the left circle. Plays a backhand pass behind the Oiler net. That's met by JT Miller right corner. Cycled back to the end boards. Suter after it. Pins Derek Ryan to the end wall. Chopped it free to Hronek. Heavy drive from the line. But it goes over the Oiler net. Brock Besser left corner. Protected the puck from Susi. Try to pass back to the line. Intercepted by Janmark. And he'll skate to center and clear it deep into the Vancouver zone. Hronek back to it. Chased down by Connor Brown. Try to pass into the slot that bounced off a skate into the far corner. McDavid picks it up for the Oilers. Passes back to the line for Ceci. Dumps it right wing side for Nugent-Hopkins. Again to Ceci. Right point. Wade shoots a bouncing wrister. Went wide of the net. And it's played back to the top of the crease. Miller mishandled it. Nearly sent it back into Shilov's. And now Suter flips it high in the air all the way down. And this will be icing against the Canucks. 6:45 into the second period. Edmonton leads game 4, 1-0.
Miller was hoping that Shilov's could freeze that puck, as that line does need a change. They've been on the ice for over a minute, and the defensive pairing of Hughes and Hronek for nearly 90 seconds. Unfortunately for Vancouver, the icing goes the other way, and that entire five-man unit is still stuck on the ice.
Against the McDavid line. And a loaded up McDavid line with Draisaitl and Hyman out there too. Ekholm and Bouchard at the point, and a crucial defensive zone face-off for JT Miller here in the first half of the second period. Draw is to the right of Artur Shilov. Miller and Draisaitl to contest it. Scrambled face-off, rolls to the near corner. Hronek's after it, but it comes to McDavid, left wing corner. Behind the net for Draisaitl, centered in front for Hyman. It bounced off his skate and wide of the net. Hughes gets it free up the near side. Besser chops it out to center. Canucks get one player off, but no more than that, with the long change here in the second period. Actually, Lindholm and Joshua got onto the ice, but the Oilers are back into the Vancouver zone. Here's McDavid, high slot. Passes right circle to Leon Draisaitl. Spinning on the boards, goes behind the net. McDavid lays a bump on Hronek. Hughes gets it free as Hronek went down in a heap, and the Canuck captain lifts it high in the air and out to center. Puck is dumped back in by Ekholm from the wrong side of the red line. That'll be icing against Edmonton, and now the Canucks will be able to change. And it's the McDavid line, with 3 of the 5 players having been out there for more than a minute, that's stuck for a face-off in its own zone now.
And that was a 2-minute shift for Philip Hronek and Quinn Hughes. They get off the ice as Zadorov and Julson come onto the ice. And this is an opportunity for the Lindholm line, who's played very, very good today. They've been able to be aggressive. Let's see what they can do here.
Lindholm and Draisaitl on the face-off. Right wing circle. Lindholm's thrown out, so Joshua steps in. But Draisaitl wins it back to Ekholm. He flips it high in the air to the red line, and Zadorov is chased back into his own end by Zach Hyman. Oilers complete a change. Zadorov throws it rink wide near side for Connor Garland. He'll fire it to center, but it rolls into the Oilers zone instead. Ekholm takes a pass from Nurse, left wing of the red line, dumps it back in. Julson's back to it in the corner. Stepped out of the way of a big hit attempt to the forecheck from Dylan Holloway. Now here come the Canucks to center. Zadorov up in the rush. Left wing, trying to center a pass blocked by Desharnais. Comes to Joshua left corner. Sweeps it behind the net for Garland, who ran into the referee. Puck is underneath him. He's trying to get back to his feet. Bluger in to help out. Nugent-Hopkins and Desharnais trying to dig it free. Nugent-Hopkins got it loose near corner for Desharnais. Played it up the boards, and now here's Darnell Nurse with a step on Ian Cole to center. Nurse right wing into the Vancouver end. Low backhander. Stopped by Shilov. Cole clears the rebound behind the net. Comes to Nurse. Shilov's across to his left. Made a tremendous save on Darnell Nurse on the second opportunity. Right across to his post. Now Ian Cole nearly turns it over again in the slot, and he's able to fling it around the boards and all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. Canucks can change with the Oilers breaking out. 8.5 minutes gone in the second period. It's Edmonton 1 and Vancouver 0. Desharnais to center for Perry. Drops to Nurse at his own line. Now for Perry, left wing. Tipped it deep into the Canucks zone. Julson's back to it. Pressure by Warren Fogle on the forecheck. He's hidden to the boards by McLeod, but gets it free for Linus Carlson. Carlson under pressure. Iced the puck. Makheyev's in quickly on the forecheck. Looked like he might be close to winning the race. But the linesman doesn't agree as Kulak got back first. And the Canucks will have the face-off in their own zone. 8:54 into this second period. Edmonton's up 1-0 in Game 4.
And a great opportunity for Darnell Nurse a couple of times to give the Edmonton Oilers a 2-0 lead. First on the backhand. Good job by Tyler Myers to get back. Then the puck works its way back to that side. And Darnell Nurse all by himself. But a good job by Shilov to seal that post and make the save.
Oilers win the face-off at the Vancouver end. Ekholm left point. Passes near corner to Hyman. Cycles to Nugent-Hopkins. Hit hard into the wall by Julson. Puck comes down low to McDavid. Winding on the left wing half wall. Spinning away from Patterson. Feeds the line to Ekholm. Watched from close range by Linus Carlson. Oilers get it down low. Hyman out the left wing side. Into the high slot. Turns and shoots wide of the target. Rebound is settled in the near corner by Nugent-Hopkins. Back to Bouchard. Now to Nugent-Hopkins. Down low McDavid. Forced wide to the boards by Patterson. McDavid still with it. Backhand centering pass tipped by Julson to the far wall, and Nugent-Hopkins gets it. To the line for Evan Bouchard. Spins it behind the Canuck goal. Zadorov breaks up the cycle, gets it free to Carlson. He couldn't clear. Nugent-Hopkins holds in. Left circle. McDavid drops to Ekholm with a high wrist shot. He missed the net. Bouchard right wing side. Dumps it back behind the goal. McDavid missed it. Ekholm pinches in from the blue line. Goes behind the goal. Hyman mishandled the pass, but settles into the right wing corner nonetheless. Canucks hemmed in here. This line's all been out there for more than a minute. They need to clear and get a change, but here's Bouchard, top of the point. Doesn't have a shooting lane. Carries near side, pressured by Mikheyev. Throws it rink wide to the right wing boards. And the Oilers work the cycle down low. McLeod out the right wing side, watched by Zadorov. To the line for Ekholm. Canucks are exhausted here. They need a whistle. McLeod back to Ekholm. Long range wrister stop by Shilov. It bounces high in the air. And he's able to cover it up in the blue paint and get the whistle. 9:42 left in the second period. It's the Oilers 1 and the Canucks 0 in Game 4 on Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Carter Honda is on the bandwagon, and it's game time, saving the best deals for the playoffs. Lease a new Honda Civic or HRV from just 3.49% with plenty of stock to choose from. Or lease the award-winning CRV from just 2.99%. And yes, that includes the CRV hybrid model. Come in and ask about the playoff package at Carter Honda, 8th and Burrard, and CarterHonda.com. Let's go!
Treat yourself to something tasty anytime at Max's Bakery and Deli. For breakfast, enjoy decadent pastries and, of course, coffee. For lunch, soup, salads, and sandwiches are seriously tasty favorites. And for lunch or dinner, Max's Deli case is stocked with 60 freshly made meals and savories. Eat at a cozy table or take it with you. Grab a treat at Max's Bakery and Deli, Vancouver's ultimate sweet escape. Open daily 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 3105 Oak Street. Online at maxsdeli.ca.
Coming soon to a backyard near you. Just when you thought it was safe to go outside, they're not.
Hey Insiders, TSI Mike here. We've got another night of NHL Stanley Cup playoff action ahead. Thank you so much for being here and hitting that like button. If you haven't done so already, please get on it. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Join up as an insider today. Let's get over 19,000. We're almost there, heading into tonight, just short of 19,000. And let's get to 20,000 insiders, subscribers by the Canucks game tomorrow night. So that's the goal. The push for 20,000 subscribers is on. It's up to you guys. Hit that subscribe button and then share it out to your friends. Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Send them an email. Get them in the chat and let's have some fun and talk some smack. Enjoy. We'll see you guys back in the chat.
Miller to take it against Kane after Draisaitl was thrown out of the draw. And Miller wins it on the forehand near boards. Tyler Myers with the puck passes left wing to center for Pius Suter, who gains the red line and lifts it in deep. Besser after Kulak on the forecheck, pins him to the end boards. Kane back to help out, played it around to the near side. Tyler Myers pinching in, holds it into the corner, but the Oilers get it free. And now here's a 2-on-1 to center. Leon Draisaitl left wing, Cody Susi with him. Draisaitl holds, it Brad Susi tipped it wide of the net. It bounced off his skate to the end boards. Draisaitl tries to center, it's tipped to the near circle. Holloway with it, back to the right wing side for Evander Kane. Throws it to the goal, great right pad save by Shilovs. through some traffic, and Myers gets the rebound, fires it to the Oiler line. Here's Besser into the Edmonton zone. Delays, tried to drop it left wing for Miller. He was tied up by Kulak, but Besser gets it left corner for JT Miller. Pushed to the boards by Susi. Miller feeds free to the line for Quinn Hughes. Long wrist shot, blocked to the near corner. Hronek charging down the right wing wall, missed it, but Miller holds in with room near circle. On the backhand, spins in the corner, protecting the puck through it in front of the net. It's cleared for the goal mouth by Brett Kulak, and he gets it off the boards and out to center. Hronek at the red line, near side for Hughes, turns back into the Oiler end. Hughes down the right wing wall, dumps it behind the Edmonton net. Lindholm meets it left wing side, protecting it from Kane. He chips it deep. Cece on the end wall is run over by Dakota Joshua on the forecheck. Garland gets it loose to the line for Hronek with room. Right circle Hughes. Settles it. Back to the far side. Garland delays into the slot. Shoots. It's tipped off a stick and wide of the net. Then Joshua on the near side. Taken down by Draisaitl away from the puck. Canucks hold in. Hughes, high slot, skating to the left wing wall. Throws it towards the goal. It got through on Pickard, who made a save. And Kulak from the far corner gets it ahead for Draisaitl. Couldn't clear. Hughes holds in. Swept it down the boards. It deflects back to him off Kulak. Hughes spinning in the slot. To the right circle. Hronek shoots. It was blocked in front of the net by Kulak. Canucks have the Oilers hemmed in, but now Kane's got it, and he'll flip it high in the air to center to relieve the pressure, if only momentarily. Hughes feeds it ahead quickly for Garland. He'll wind back in on the left wing side. Cece forces him to the boards. Garland still with it, pressured by Evander Kane. Ilya Mikheyev in to help out. Plays it free for Hronek, couldn't hold into the blue line. Oilers get a partial change. Hronek dumps it back in. But Cece and Kulak, the two defensemen, have been out there for more than 2 minutes. Oilers clear to center. Julson has it at his own line. Goes D to D to Zadorov, far boards. Zadorov left wing to center. Takes a shot from the red line in on Pickard, who kicked it out off the left pad. Patterson holds in right boards for Mikheyev. He'll chip it to the corner. Nugent-Hopkins down low. Plays to the line, not out. Julson steps into a heavy drive, but Pickard makes the save and holds on for the whistle. 7:11 left in the second period tonight in Edmonton. It's the Oilers 1 and the Canucks nothing in Game 4 on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey, streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet radio network.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
BCers love hockey, and they also love burgers. What's even better is saving 20% off takeout during the playoffs. Order White Spot online and save 20% off with code SAVE20. Not valid on May 12th, June 16th, or on pirate packs and alcohol. Only at whitespot.ca.
Here's NHL hockey superstar JT Miller on why you should buy your next new Ford from Ocean Park Ford in the South Surrey Auto Mall on the King George Boulevard.
Well, I think it's very simple. It's high quality and good people. And I think that that's a hard combination to beat. And, ever since I got here, it's been very simple for me and an easy choice for us. And like I said, I just feel very lucky that I get to come down and see Ron and the guys here. And, they always take great care of me when I come.
The door is always open at Ocean Park Ford.
Step up to the plate. Let's play ball.
It's go time.
Stream the Toronto Blue Jays all season long on Sportsnet Plus.
Look at that play.
Plans start at $19.99 a month.
Boy, oh boy, this is premium stuff.
Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
Hey, this is Connor Garland.
It's 4-0 Canucks with 6:41 left in the second.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
Have you welcomed a little Sonic into your life? Sonic 104.9 is Vancouver's new alternative radio station, and they have tickets to every Canucks home playoff game that you could win. Listen weekday mornings for the details on Sonic 104.9. 7 minutes and 11 seconds left in the second period. Oilers lead the Canucks 1-0 in Game 4. Brendan Batchelor alongside Randeep Janda. High above the ice inside Rogers Place in Edmonton. Canucks with an offensive zone draw. Draisaitl against Miller on the faceoff near circle. It bounces into the slot. Is clear to the line. Zadorov left point with a long shot. Blocked away by Pickard to the corner. Miller gets it free back to Zadorov. Another one. Timer up high. Pickard fought it off again. Miller left corner. Rims it right wing side for Besser. Now to Hughes near point. Again to Besser. Top of the right circle. Goes down the wall for JT Miller. Again to Besser for the line. Low shot. Blocked off the skate of Desharnais, and he clears it off the boards but can't get it out again. Hughes holds in for Miller. Tips it behind the net for Suter. Pushed to the corner boards by Desharnais, who pins him down low. Miller gets it free. Top of the point for Hughes. Left circle Zadorov. Wrist shot high and wide of the net. Miller missed it on the near side, and it bounces back out to center. Canucks start push back here late in the second, trailing 1-0. Hughes with a stretch pass. Left wing for Besser. Into the Oiler end. Spins away from McDavid on the boards, protected the puck. Besser throws it to the goal. Desharnais blocked it in the far circle. And he'll settle it and scoop it up the right wing. Hyman missed it to the red line. Ian Cole's got it in his own end. Takes it behind the net. Pushed to the end boards by Hyman. Cleared it up the near side and out to center. And Ekholm will battle with Lindholm, but gains the Vancouver line left wing. Matthias Ekholm dumps it behind the Canuck net. McDavid's got it right wing side, tied up by Joshua. Lindholm gets it free to Besser. He'll scoop it out of the zone. Brock Besser's been out there for more than a minute, and now he's able to get off on a change as Lindholm breaks up a play right wing into the Oilers zone. He's got Joshua in the slot, gives it to him. Joshua tried a shot. It was blocked in tight by Cody Susi, or rather that was Evan Bouchard in front of the net, and Bouchard sweeps it out to center. Here come the Oilers. Hyman tried to pass for McDavid. It was out of his reach, rolls near corner. Myers back to it, gets it high off the glass, but it deflects into the netting and out of play. 5:36 left in the second period. Oilers up 1-0 in Game 4 from Rogers Place in Edmonton on Alpine Credits. Canucks playoff hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Carter Honda is on the bandwagon, and it's game time, saving the best deals for the playoffs. Lease a new Honda Civic or HR-V from just 3.49% with plenty of stock to choose from. Or lease the award-winning CR-V from just 2.99%. And yes, that includes the CR-V hybrid model. Come in and ask about the playoff package at Carter Honda, 8th and Burrard, and CarterHonda.com. Let's go!
Treat yourself to something tasty anytime at Max's Bakery and Deli. For breakfast, enjoy decadent pastries and, of course, coffee. For lunch, soup, salads, and sandwiches are seriously tasty favorites. And for lunch or dinner, Max's Deli case is stocked with 60 freshly made meals and savories. Eat at a cozy table or take it with you. Grab a treat at Max's Bakery and Deli, Vancouver's ultimate sweet escape. Open daily 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 3105 Oak Street. Online at maxsdeli.ca.
The road trips are coming.
The road trips are coming.
Do you hear that?
The road trips are coming.
Hey, it's Jeff, owner at Turn 3 Autosport. It's time to get road trip ready by getting your spring service done. Experience an exceptional alternative to the dealer and book your appointment today to hit the road running. Our team's passion and commitment will have you wondering why you didn't visit us sooner.
Turn 3 Autosport, born out of a passion. In Langley and at turn3autosport.com.
Hey, this is Carlson Susi, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
Thanks for joining us along the Sportsnet Radio Network tonight. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. Whether you're Harbhajan tuning in from Punjab, India, or Ash who listens from Venus Bay, Australia, wherever you're listening, we thank you for spending your evening, afternoon, or morning with us. Let us know where you're listening from. You can reach me at Batch Hockey. He is at Randeep Janda. Our flagship station is at Sportsnet 650. You can find those handles on Instagram, TikTok, and the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. 5:36 left in the second period. Oilers up 1-0 on the Canucks in Game 4. Vancouver leads the best-of-7 series 2-1. Lindholm and McDavid face off in the Vancouver zone. Looked like McDavid had won it, but the linesman whistles play down, and they'll have to drop it in yet again.
And shots are equal in this period as Vancouver's really up their game. Had a lot of O-zone possession time.
Luger wins the face-off near corner. Zach Hyman has it on the forecheck, tied up by Hronek as he tries to drive the goal. McDavid gets it free left wing side. Top of the circle, cuts away from Bluger, who knocked the puck off his stick to the far corner. McDavid feeds the line. Bouchard steps into a shot. It was stopped. Rebound for Hyman. And Shilov is there to make a great save with the left pad and hold on for the whistle.
Big save by Artur Shilov as the puck came down to the point and fired towards the net. And a good job by tracking the puck on Bouchard's shot by Shilov, and then a quick turn and fire by Zach Hyman to the left of Shilov. He's in good position to make that save as well. The 23-year-old doing an excellent job on that sequence.
5:20 left in the second. Make sure to stay tuned for Canucks Central at the intermission with Satyar Shah, Bick Nazar, and Brett Festerling. McDavid wins the faceoff of the Vancouver zone. He's got it right wing. Passes rink wide. Left point for Matthias Ekholm. Low shot. Kicked out by Shilovs off the pad. Hyman pushed into the end boards by Myers. It comes around right wing side. Bouchard throws it to the goal, and Shilov's got a piece of that too. Canucks clear it out to center. On their heels at the moment with the McDavid line pressing. Evan Bouchard in his own zone. Passes right wing for McDavid. Tips it behind the Canuck net. Myers is back to it near corner. Nugent-Hopkins beats him to the puck, though. Nugent-Hopkins left wing into the slot with a backhand shot. It was blocked off a skate. Never got through on Shilov's. And Besser settles in his own zone. Makes a nice rink-wide pass to Ian Cole. Now to Bouchard of the Oiler line. Tipped it in. It deflected into the high slot, but Nugent-Hopkins has it. He'll stretch it to the Canuck line, out of the reach of Hyman, and it's icing against Edmonton with 4:33 left in the second period. And the Oilers up on the Canucks 1-0. Get your tickets for the Canucks online 50-50 draw. Go to Canucks.com/50-50 to enter. Ticket sales close at the end of the second intermission. Must be 18 plus and located in BC at the time of purchase to play. Know your limit. Play within it.
And another excellent opportunity for Vancouver here as Hyman, McDavid, and Ekholm have been on the ice for some time.
Almost 2 minutes for all of them. Canucks win the draw. Hughes left point. To the right side, Hronek shoots through traffic. It was blocked. There was a rebound there. Patterson missed it. And now Nugent-Hopkins is back to center with speed. But at the end of a long shift, he's content to gain the red line and dump it in so the Oilers can change. Hughes in his own zone for the Canucks. Goes middle of the ice for Philip Hronek. Hronek banks it to center. It comes to Patterson, left wing, into the Oilers zone. Driving wide, through it to the goal. Pickard made the save. Patterson gets it again on the end boards. Protecting the puck from Kulak, right wing corner. Kulak trying to dig it free. Patterson still with it. Mikheyev in to help out. Oilers get it up the boards. Evander Kane can't get it out past Noah Julson. Played it back down the wall, and now Kane does lift it high in the air to the Canuck blue line. Nikita Zadorov with it. Pressured by Draisaitl. Threw it up the wall. Mikheyev tips it in. And Pickard lets it roll to the end boards for Brett Kulak. Kulak up the far side for Holloway. Tips it to center for Draisaitl. Back to Holloway. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Oilers. Holloway right wing into the Vancouver zone. Making moves. Side of the goal. Shilov's made the save. Rebound loose. Top of the crease. Zadorov tried to clear it. Almost played it back into his own goaltender, but it rolls behind the net. And Patterson's got it down low. He throws a backhand flip up the middle. And Nurse holds in. For Draisaitl right wing. Zadorov's on top of him. Got it down low to Nugent-Hopkins in front for Kane. Hit the goalpost. Tried to scoop it past Shilov's. But it didn't find the back of the net, and it's still 1-0 Edmonton. Now here's Julson to center for Connor Garland. Left wing to the red line. He dumps it in and fights through a check of Corey Perry. Desharnais behind his own net for the Oilers. Pressured by Garland. Keeps the puck near side. Desharnais with a heavy pass right wing to the Vancouver line for Corey Perry. Drops to Ryan McLeod. Right circle shot stop by Shilov's. Rebound far circle. McLeod takes it behind the net. He'll feed to the near point for Darnell Nurse. D to the far side for Desharnais. Middle of the ice for McLeod. Scoops it back right wing corner. Perry and Hughes will fight for it down low. Hughes gets it behind the net for Lindholm. Pressured by Warren Fogle, who steals the puck. Fogle played it back to the right point. Desharnais couldn't hold in, and the Oilers have to regroup. Period. Edmonton's up 1-0 in Game 4. Oilers clear it deep again. Bluger back to it near corner. Chased down by Janmark on the forecheck. Teddy Bluger plays behind his own net to Quinn Hughes far side. Hughes spins away from Derek Ryan, sent it back side of the net. It was tipped on goal by Hronek. Shilov's made a save, then played it back to Hronek, and the Canucks get it out to center. Neil Zoman on the right wing, dumps it in. Cody Susi back to it, hit hard into the end boards by Linus Carlson, but the puck comes to Connor Brown behind his own goal. Brown chased down by Bluger. Played it far side for Susi. He'll slap it to center, batted down by Ian Cole for Teddy Bluger. Bluger leaves in his own end for Myers. He'll feed it up the right wing. Oman gets it deep. Canucks will change with under 2 minutes left in the second period.
And the Oilers crowd trying to get under the skin of Artur Shilov's here by saying his name. Chanted in a different way in Riga, Latvia this past summer. So far, Shilov's has played quite well. 19 saves in this game.
Canucks lift a puck out to center. Ekholm's got it to the Oiler blue line. Under 90 seconds left, second period. Edmonton's up 1-0. Nugent-Hopkins bats it out of midair at center. Miller leaves in his own zone. Chased deep by McDavid and goes near side for Tyler Myers. Myers passes to center. Bouchard tips it to the Oiler line. Tried to dump it left corner, but Evan Bouchard's back to the puck. Bouchard with a stretch pass to Hyman. Left wing into the Vancouver zone. Watched by Myers, who forces him to the corner. Hyman still with it. Knocked down by Myers in a battle. Puck is underneath him. Besser trying to dig it free. Nugent-Hopkins is in there too, as is McDavid. Nugent-Hopkins with Besser leaning on him on the boards. Comes to McDavid, left corner, spins out of the way of a hit attempt from Besser. Julson on the far side, clears it off the glass and out to center. 45 seconds left, second period. Here's Ekholm back to the Vancouver line, run over by Julson. Here's a 2-on-1 goal for the Oilers. McDavid scores! Or rather, it was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Down the left wing, he had McDavid, but he wires it past Shilov's. And it's a big goal for Edmonton late in the second. The Oilers go up 2-0 in the final minute.
39 seconds left in this period, and the Canucks play aggressive in the neutral zone. Noah Julson steps up, makes the hit, but what happens is he leaves Tyler Myers all by himself on a 2-on-1 with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Connor McDavid. And rather passing it to Connor McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins from Burnaby, BC, goes off the post and in after the dive by Noah Julson into the neutral zone.
And Nugent-Hopkins has his second of the playoffs to give the Oilers a 2-0 lead at 19:20 of the second period. The time of the goal is brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at crowmackay.ca. Oilers win the faceoff. Nurse at his own line. Plays it across to Desharnais, throws it up the right wing. Dakota Joshua's after it, chips it back into his own end. It rolls in on Shilov, who's content to cover it and get the whistle. And the Oilers have a multi-goal lead for the first time since the second period of Game 1.
That's the playoff is about discipline. Not only penalties, taking penalties, but making the right play, the right decision at the right time. And unfortunately for Noah Julson, just playing aggressive, gets the hit on the Oilers player. But what happens is when you don't get the puck and it moves forward and the attacking team still has it, you open yourself up for an odd man rush. And that's exactly what happened there with two skilled players coming in from the Edmonton Oilers.
Nugent-Hopkins extends his point streak to 5 games with a goal and 6 helpers along the way. Face off of the Vancouver zone with 27 seconds left of the second period. Edmonton leads 2-0. Canucks win the draw. Hronek, far corner. Lost it to McDavid, winding out of the right corner. Got it down low to Kane. Tried to center for McDavid. It's rolled away from him. Lindholm knocks McDavid into the near boards. Joshua gives him a bump. Canucks clear it out to center. Draisaitl steps up on Zadorov. Now with 10 seconds left in the middle frame. Oilers clear it ahead, but it hits the camera at center ice above the penalty boxes, and that will draw a stoppage with just a few seconds left in this second period.
And there are a lot of off-the-puck battles going on. Elias Lindholm and Leon Draisaitl in the last shift, cross-checking each other away from the puck. Evander Kane and Dakota Joshua also engaging in battles. So after that second goal, this one's getting even chippier.
A better period from the Canucks, but the lone mistake in the final minute from Noah Julson means they're likely to head to the intermission down by 2. As Nugent-Hopkins beat Artur Shilov with a nice shot, stick side from the right circle on the 2-on-1. He had McDavid with him and looked him off. Canucks win the draw back into their own zone. Noah Julson takes it behind the net, and that'll do it for the second period. Oilers get a first period power play goal from Leon Draisaitl, a second period 5-on-5 goal from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and they lead the Canucks 2-0 after 2 in Game 4.
It started off really well in this period as the Canucks were playing quicker. They're playing more aggressive through the neutral zone, and they're removing the puck up the ice very quickly. Actually had Edmonton on their heels for a little bit, but the problem is you don't score on those opportunities that you generate, and coming back the other way, just an inopportune dive by Noah Julson leads to an odd man rush. And when you've got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Connor McDavid on a 2-on-1, more likely than not, it's going to be a goal, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins makes it 2-0.
Time for Canucks Central at the intermission with Satyar Shah, Bick Nazar, and Brett Festerling.
This is Canucks Central at the intermission on the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
45 seconds left, second period. Here's Ekholm back to the Vancouver line, run over by Julson. Here's a 2-on-1 goal for the Oilers. McDavid scores! Or rather, it was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Down the left wing, he had McDavid, but he wires it past Shilov. And it's a big goal for Edmonton late in the second. The Oilers go up 2-0 in the final minute.
Canucks cough up another goal late in the period. 2-0 lead for the Edmonton Oilers through 40 minutes. And this is Canucks Central at the intermission. Satyar Shah with Bick Nazar and Brett Festerling. And as always, get your thoughts into our Dunbar Lumber text inbox 650-650. And, the Canucks, I thought in that second period, it was kind of back and forth a little bit. There were too many times they were hemmed in their own zone. However, there were times they had some offensive zone time. They had a few scoring chances and kind of worked themselves back into the game a little bit towards the end. And then we talk about focus late in a game. It's still a 1-goal game. You haven't been at your best. The other guy out there is Calvin Pickard. At some point, if you keep pressure going, you can beat him. And then Noah Julson steps up, and then there's a 2-on-1 going the other way, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins doesn't make a mistake, makes it 2-0. So a bit of a tough ending to that period for the Canucks, where they felt like you felt pretty good. You're like, you know what? All things considered, only be down 1 goal after 2 periods will be okay, but that second goal is a bit of a dagger.
Yeah, and Sean in Ontario beat me to it, but it was the game I was going to reference. He's saying the Julson hit reminded me of that game against Winnipeg. He makes the big hit, creates a 2-on-1, and the Jets score. You got to learn from your mistakes, and he does in those moments. But look, you haven't played in a while here. You have 2 games in, I think, 6 weeks for Noah Julson. Your natural instinct is always going to be to want to be aggressive, make your imprint in the game, and that moment that maybe you should learn from materializes again in a chance when you're not playing regular minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just timing. He's hyped up. He wants to get a hit. That's how he can add value, right? And then he sees it, and Ekholm is like lining up for a nice hit, and it's so hard as a D-man to know this is not the moment, especially the last 2 minutes in a period. He goes for it, and Nugent-Hopkins has full speed. He doesn't have to the last 2 minutes in a period. He goes for it, and Nugent-Hopkins has full speed. He doesn't have to if you run out to try to do somebody else's job, you're just leaving holes, and then that just feeds on it and snowballs, and somebody has to cover you, and somebody has to cover you, and that leads to the multiple mistakes you're talking about, and eventually goals against.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Canucks find themselves now in a very tough position, down 2-0. However, it's Calvin Pickard. You're facing a guy who, hey, he had a decent regular season, but clearly not a first-rate goaltender and pretty much a journeyman goaltender. So if you are able to put some pressure on them and get going, chip away, like you're still in this game. It's only a 2-goal lead heading into the third. It's been a very frustrating game. Like I see the text messages as well, and I can understand it because it's been a lot of stop-start from the Canucks, not putting things together the way they need to, making some uncharacteristic mistakes. Patterson looking like he's not a factor again. The power play hasn't looked good. So I'd say just the way the game's gone has created more frustration than I think probably should be there. But it's been one of those really irritating games watching the Canucks play tonight.
Well, if you were one shot away from tying it, suddenly it's like, okay, we can get back into it. And a lot of people were texting in after the first intermission, hey guys, you're being too negative, too nitpicky. They're one shot away. That's all well and good, but you hold on for 40 more seconds. That reality exists. Now you got to fight to create a mad scramble near the end here just to get one back. So it's going to be interesting to see the response from them. Something we were talking about during the period that we haven't really seen the Canucks have to play that scramble near the end the way the Oilers have the last two games. Obviously, they come back in game one, but they do a lot of the work early. So if there's a scenario here where the Oilers keep slowing them down, what's the end of the game going to look like for Vancouver if they have enough urgency in their game to come back?
Yeah, and now you need more puck possession and more shots than they've had in every game, and you probably need to get more aggressive with your Ds down the wall against a team that loves to feed off that rush. You're going to have guys cheating that can jump past D-men that are going to get pucks chipped by them. So you're really going to have a high support centerman, but still be aggressive down those walls and get it to the net.
And they gave up 2-on-1s that whole period because Draisaitl has one with Cody Susi, and he opts to pass to Susi.
Thank you, Draisaitl.
but it's a play that the puck comes to Suter covering from Myers. It's not as if it was a play the Oilers worked. It was a play there to Suter to keep it in, and it doesn't materialize for him. But there was other moments like Perry looks for McLeod on a 3-on-2 that Quinn Hughes is quick to challenge and get the stick on the shot out into the crowd. So they've had their issues with odd man rushes in that period.
Yeah, they have. And, people are texting in, too, about Carson Susi not being in the game. And, his presence kind of felt already. Not to say, nothing would have happened in the first period, but Cole's out there up against, Draisaitl, where Cole ends up, not getting the clear and JT takes a penalty. If Susi's out there, maybe that doesn't happen. Susi being relied upon a bit more means Julson's not in. So you're starting to see that it's almost a bit of a linchpin here, not having Susi, and the after effects of that impacting the Canucks here tonight.
Well, a play that could have ended up a lot worse is a puck squirts out of the zone. It's kind of a weird bounce, and Darnell Nurse up the ice, and you can see Ian Cole just kind of look over his shoulder to see if Myers is going to cut him off, and shout out to Tyler Myers because that was unbelievable pursuit to cut off Darnell Nurse, make the play a lot easier for Shilov, but Cole looked like there was no chance he was going to get that pursuit angle.
No, it was really good job, not only by Myers coming over, but Nurse gets a second opportunity behind the net where he jams, and Shilov makes that post-to-post, gets tall. So nice play by both of them to kind of stomp that out.
Yeah, and the Canucks had a couple opportunities here, and it's not like it was all bad. It was frustrating in the second, but there was plenty of chances where you're like, okay, you know what? Like, there's going to be some opportunities here. So you're right. Edmonton had a few 2-on-1s going the other way. Well, the Canucks had a couple of their own as well. Brock Besser going on one with Pew Suter ends up taking the shot, and obviously there's a save made by Pickard, but the puck's there. There's been a few times the puck's been right there, and JT just missed a rebound. Suter missed another chance at it. That was a good chance they had. Suter earlier in the period hit a shot off the post. That was a good opportunity, and there was two good chances in the middle of the ice. One was Connor Garland after some great work from Quinn Hughes on an offensive zone shift where maybe the Canucks' best shift in the second. They kept the puck in the offensive zone for over a minute. They cycled it. They had the line change going. Hughes finds Garland. He comes into the middle of the ice. He has Joshua perhaps for a 2-on-1 play. Ends up getting blocked and he misses the net. But there's been a few of those chances in that second period where if you get those shots on goal, maybe you can beat Pickard.
Yeah, the Suter one was such a good one because it's Patterson cutting off a pass, and it's these quick strike opportunities, right? You get it to Besser, who leaves it for Suter, just hits the post. And then Hronek is the one that carries a puck out of the zone, chips it by, and then it's Besser, who I thought, a lot of time to pick a spot. He goes try to go 5-hole on Pickard. It's chances can be there. The Garland one to me is the frustrating one because that was a play. Quinn Hughes was probably his most influential shift, and you probably need more of that maestro magic from Hughes, but you wait too long to get these opportunities off. You try to open up one space because Kulak's flailing the stick, sliding out, but another space is going to get close. That back pressure is going to arrive at some point, Brett.
Yeah, I think it's literally just too many options for Garland. Does he shoot it? Does he pass it? Does he try to make a move? And you're right. By the time he decides not to do one, the other ones are closing, and he does a good job scrambling, but Holloway gets back and tips that over. So it gets stomped out, and it's probably... like their best look. That's the one that made me the most excited seeing it. And Hughes, like you're saying, we want more of that. It's probably his best shift, maybe in the playoffs or one of them. And he really turned the momentum there. But unfortunately, they don't get anything or any reward for it.
Yeah, and they had another one, a good chance too, was Lindholm finding Joshua in the slot, and it's Bouchard deflecting the puck off of him, and it goes off. Another shot like in the slot. It's an east-west pass into the middle. But the fact that they're kind of getting some of those passes is encouraging. It's more about can get those shots through. And even from the point, Filip Hronek is still trying to find his game offensively. He did some good things there we saw in the second, but he's having a real hard time getting those shots through. Every time it seems like it's being deflected or it's missing the net.
Or just passes, right? Like there's if you're meant to be an offensive creator, and that is his game, right? He has defensive strengths, but his game is puck mobility, passes, and a heavy shot. I just don't see the natural identity being put into his game. Outside of game one, I thought he was fantastic, but these last three, he hasn't been as noticeable.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that Hughes-Hronek kind of high cycle switch at all really in the playoffs. I really love that. They've generated so much in the regular season, but obviously I think teams know that's coming, and you see them more aggressive, more up, especially in using Hronek's face early and giving more, call it space in the middle for the forwards to go to work, which they haven't took advantage of.
A lot of reaction on the text inbox. Let's hit a couple before we get out. Winston says, this is when EP40 makes the difference, but the question is, can he?
There's a lot of Patterson text coming
in. A lot of criticism. People saying he's a ghost, bench him, and all these other things coming in about Elias Patterson. So, yeah, people are seeing that. Pardeep says, I don't know if it's just me, but does it seem like the Oilers' top players are slowing down as the game goes on? Fatigue maybe setting in a little bit? I thought they were pretty fast early in the second. I'm not sure if they're there. But outside of McDavid, they're not the fastest team, obviously, right? But they had more juice in the first than they had in the second.
Yeah, I feel like it might be just looking for something right now. Just to be like, oh, they look slow.
They look pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, McDavid's at 14:23, so a much lower usage night for him. And Draisaitl sitting there with 12:54. So they're going to be around 20 minutes, pending what the score looks like here.
Yeah, and this text message here from Brandon and Poco, and I thought my ginger ale was flat. The Canucks don't look ready to play tonight. A bit of a flat performance. All right, keep your thoughts coming into our text inbox. We'll take more of your comments coming up on the post-game show. Satyar Shah, Brett Festerling, and Bick Nazar. But the third period is coming up next. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda have the call. Canucks are down 2 goals. Can they mount a comeback? They already came back from 3 goals down in game 1 and a 2-goal deficit in the third in game 1 to win that game 5-4. Is there an encore in store? We'll find out. Batch and Randeep with the call from Edmonton next.
The 2024 Outlander PHEV is now in stock. The world's best-selling plug-in hybrid vehicle is now more efficient, more powerful, and more sophisticated than ever, with rates starting from 4.49% plus the industry's best warranty. Elevate your everyday. Make new tracks at Applewood Mitsubishi in the Richmond Auto Mall or at applewoodmitsubishi.ca.
It's all good.
Hey, it's Satyar Shah from Sportsnet 650. Wildfires have the power to drastically change lives in BC, and as wildfires become more frequent and intense, we can all take proactive measures to protect our province, our homes, and our communities. BCAA and FireSmart BC have joined forces to help educate British Columbians in wildfire prevention and preparedness. Get FireSmart with BCAA and FireSmart BC. For tips and resources, visit bcaa.com/firesmart.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
When was the last time you hung out with a legend, a true Vancouver legend that every pro athlete, actor, and rock star who is anyone has gotten to know? A place where a legendary night can happen any night. Isn't it time you got reacquainted with this Vancouver legend? Pre-game, post-game, even during the game. The number 5 Orange.
Hughes cuts in front again, doing laps in the San Jose zone. Quinn Hughes shoots, he scores! And that goal was all Quinn Hughes.
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup playoffs.
The Canucks are off and running. Well, what a heads-up play here by Quinn Hughes.
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit Rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's Rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
Check out my new scope. I can see for miles. And when I stand like this, I look like Captain
Hook? You look like if Peter Pan liked cheeseburgers.
What? I look good in green.
This summer, before you head to the hills or the range, gear up at Cywash Sports for the largest selection of optics in the valley, from Zeiss and Vortex to Sig Sauer, Scorpion, Leopold, and Burris. Shop BC's newest Browning and Winchester dealer, the Fraser Valley's Cywash Sports, in Chilliwack and online at cywashsports.ca.
What are you reading?
The email with detailed pricing on Parksville 96 in Surrey. This is awesome, and they're on sale now.
Are you going for the luxury package or the investor pricing?
One of each. A place to live and a mortgage helper down the road.
I can't believe the location and amenities. The park, SkyTrain, and so much to do right in the building.
And I can walk to work at the hospital and save a ton on gas and commuting time.
Let's do it.
Happy birthday, dear Nana. Happy birthday. No, the cake!
Life is full of surprises, and TSC is there to help you make the most of the journey. I'll grab the KitchenAid and the Bissell. With exciting offers every day on time-saving brands and products that keep you smiling.
Oh, wait, you made a new cake that fast?
Oh, it's a backup. But don't worry, honey. I'll carry this one. For moments made to last, shop exciting offers every day at tsc.ca.
This is Alpine Credit's Canucks Playoff Hockey. On the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Rogers Place in Edmonton, where the Oilers lead the Canucks 2-0 through 40 minutes. And we head to the third period, with the Canucks looking to try and claw back in this game, as they've done so many times in this playoffs thus far.
They are 3-1 when they're trailing after 40 minutes of play in the playoffs. And remember, in Game 1, when they had a 4-2 deficit, they came back to win that game. So they have it in them, but they got to get pucks through. 9 block shots by the Oilers in that second period. They made it easy for Calvin Pickard, who hasn't allowed a goal in this game thus far.
Pickard with 13 saves on 13 Vancouver shots. Third period's underway. Canucks in white going from right to left. The Oilers in blue skating from left to right. Hughes passes up the left wing. Joshua tips it in deep. Ekholm's back to it near corner. Hit by Lindholm. And Joshua gets the puck. Banks it back left point for Quinn Hughes. Shot through traffic. Tipped through the crease and out the far side by Lindholm. Hronek on the right wing. Can't hold in. It rolls to center, and Quinn Hughes has it back in his own end. It rolls off his stick deep, and Shilov leaves it for Hughes behind the Canuck goal as both teams get a change. Dakota Joshua collided awkwardly with Dylan Holloway away from the puck in the neutral zone and went slowly to the Canuck bench as it's dumped in on Pickard, who plays it loose to Desharnais. He leaves far corner for Darnell Nurse. Pressure to the forecheck by Pius Suter. Suter has it pinned to the boards. Nurse and Draisaitl trying to pry it loose. It's sent free up the boards. Holloway can't get it out as Myers holds in off his glove, but then Holloway follows up, banks it left wing for Evander Kane. Into the Vancouver zone. Drops high slot. Draisaitl with 59 seconds into the third period. Oilers lead 2-0 in Game 4.
Naturally, Canucks defensemen are going to be more aggressive at the blue line, and Tyler Myers on the right-hand side dives in, trying to keep the puck in, which launches a counterattack the other way as Leon Draisaitl takes the puck from the center of the ice to the right-hand side with a nifty little move, trying to go backhand on Shilov.
Dakota Joshua is still on the Vancouver bench right now, after a heavy collision with Dylan Holloway away from the puck in the neutral zone moments ago. Oilers win the face-off of the Vancouver, and Connor Brown try to drop pass. It's broken up by McKay. And Elias Patterson flips it to center. Sam Lafferty forechecking into the Oilers zone. Darnell Nurse back to the puck. Watched by Lafferty, who hits him hard into the boards. He leaves for Desharnais, who goes up the near side to center. It's broken up by McKay. Left wing for Patterson. Try to centering pass for McKay. Desharnais intercepted. And Noah Julson takes it back into his own end. Pressured by Janmark. Julson still with the puck. For Zadorov, middle of the ice to center. Banks it right wing, out of the reach of Lafferty, who had to stay on side. And Nurse chops it back to center for Derek Ryan. Ryan, left wing into the Vancouver zone. Delays, top of the far circle. Cycles to the corner for Connor Brown. Back to the point for Brett Kulak. Rims it behind the net. Janmark's got it right wing side. Pushed to the boards by Zadorov. Puck comes free up the wall. Susi couldn't hold in. And Kulak's got it out at center. Canucks will change. Brett Kulak in his own zone. Bank pass right wing out of the reach of Corey Perry. It rolls in on Shilov, who leaves for Hronek behind the Vancouver net. Hronek overskated the puck, got it free to Linus Carlson up the near side. He got it out to center. Susi tried to dump it back in. It bounces to Ryan McLeod in on the right wing. Forced wide by Hronek to the corner. McLeod back to Susi. Spins it behind the net. Corey Perry takes it on his backhand. Pressured by Neil Zoman on the end wall. Ryan McLeod in to help out. Passes far circle. Shot swept wide of the net by Warren Foegele off the left wing. Now he's got it below the goal line. Knocked down by Quinn Hughes, and here come the Canucks to center. Hughes leading the rush. Left wing to the red line. Floats it deep into the Edmonton zone. And Bluger's after it to the forecheck, tying up Kulak. Puck rolls to the side of the net. It was cleared away by Pickard off his stick. And now Foegele on the far side is pinned to the corner boards by Oman. Puck rimmed around to the near wall. Quinn Hughes is after it. Chips it behind the Oiler net. Linus Carlson had it hop over his stick. He'll battle with Kulak far corner. They get tangled up, and this will be an offensive zone penalty for the Canuck forward, Linus Carlson. As the Oilers ice the puck. But Carlson goes off, and the vaunted Edmonton power play will get its second chance of the game. 2:56 into the third, leading the Canucks 2-0.
And this is a frustrating penalty, as Linus Carlson called for holding in the offensive zone on Kulak, and Kulak's got an angle on the puck, and Carlson just wraps his left arm around him. That's an undisciplined penalty that you can't take there. You're late in a shift. You're working hard. But now the Canucks are on the penalty kill yet again, and this could get ugly depending on how the Oilers operate on the power play. They've been red hot all playoffs long.
Edmonton's 5 for 9 on the power play in the series. And they win the draw. Bouchard. Left circle, Nugent-Hopkins. Back to Bouchard. Into the right wing corner for Connor McDavid. To the bottom of the circle for Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl back to the faceoff dot. Shoot. Stopped by Shilov. Rebound was there, but the Canuck goaltender covers up. 3 minutes and 11 seconds into the third period. 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in the Oiler power play. Edmonton leads Vancouver 2-0 in Game 4.
And that is a sneaky shot from Leon Draisaitl right near the right face-off circle. And Shilov makes a good job to make that save, as Zach Hyman right there on the backhand, ready for any rebound. But a full stretch from Arthur Shilov to make that right pad save.
Miller and Draisaitl on the draw, near circle to our right in the Vancouver zone. Oilers' top power play unit still on the ice, and Draisaitl wins it to Nugent-Hopkins. Left point, Bouchard fakes the shot. Dumps it to the right corner. Draisaitl missed it. Comes to Hyman behind the net. He's tied up by Tyler Myers. Ian Cole into support. Puck sitting loose. Cole played in front of his own goal for JT Miller, and here come the Canucks out of the zone shorthanded. Miller passes right wing to center for Elias Lindholm into the Oiler end. High slot, tried to make a move to the middle, lost the puck, then threw it to the goal, and Pickard made the save up high. Hyman in his own end with the puck. Oilers breaking out, still with more than a minute left on their power play. Bouchard in his own end for McDavid, accelerating to the Vancouver blue line. Dumps it left boards for Nugent-Hopkins. Plays it back to the end wall. Zadorov back to the puck. Protects it from McDavid. Got it near corner, but Hyman knocks it down for McDavid behind the Canuck net. Out the left wing side, bottom of the circle. Feeds the line for Bouchard. Again to McDavid. Top of the left circle, into the slot. Nugent-Hopkins ripped it wide of the net. Rebound far boards. Cleared to the corner by Julson. Nugent-Hopkins gets it around to McDavid. Left wing hash marks. 50 seconds left in the Edmonton power play. McDavid for Nugent-Hopkins. Behind the Canuck net. Out the right wing side. Passes bottom of the right circle for Draisaitl. Played it through the seam. What a save by Shilov. He held it out of the goal line. Half the building thought that was in. Now Draisaitl, high slot. Nugent-Hopkins shoots wide of the net. This time past the glove side of the Canuck netminder. Draisaitl, right circle. Down low to Nugent-Hopkins. Now for McDavid. Side of the net, Draisaitl. Try to pass it to the slot, blocked by Zadorov. Draisaitl gets it back under 20 seconds left of the power play. Leon Draisaitl, right wing. For Nugent-Hopkins, near circle. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to Draisaitl, side of the net. Centering pass broken up in the crease by Julson. He clears it to the corner. Under 10 seconds left of the power play. Bouchard from the line. Left wing. McDavid shoots. Stopped by Shilov's. Rebound. What a save by Shilov's. He robbed Hyman on the rebound. Got into the splits. Held it out off his left pad. Canucks clear it down the ice, and the Edmonton power play is extinguished.
The kid is keeping the Canucks in this. Two excellent saves. First on the right-hand side, and then full stretch on the left-hand side with the left pad.
Puck deflects out of play into the bench's far side. 5:15 gone in the third period. Oilers leading Vancouver 2-0 in Game 4, but Edmonton's now 1 for 2 on the power play, thanks to the Canucks' best penalty killer, and his name is Artur Shilov.
26 saves for Artur Shilov tonight thus far, and no tougher than these ones the last little bit, as Shilov's yet again no quit, as it looked like the first time around he'd been beaten on the right-hand side, but then after another great opportunity on the left-hand side, to the middle of the ice as Zach Hyman turns and tries to slide it past him, but that left pad just going from right to left to make the save.
Miller wins the draw at his own line. Canucks will try to build momentum off that successful penalty kill. Besser tips it into the Oilers zone. Pickard out of his net to handle. Cleared it around the far side. JT Miller takes it down on his backhand. Miller to the left corner for Pius Suter. Back to the point for Quinn Hughes. Long shot through traffic. It was tipped. Blocked in front. Loose top of the crease. Suter trying to jam it home. Can't send it to the net, but Ryan McLeod can't clear. Suter gets it right wing corner for Miller. High slot. Besser with a hard one-timer. He ripped it just wide of the net. Hughes holds in left point, but it deflects off the glass and out of play. And now nurses into it with Miller far corner. Desharnais into the mix. And this is going to be a big scrum with players on both teams into it. So the linesmen get them settled. Although they're still trying to pry Desharnais away. After JT Miller caused a kerfuffle in the right wing corner in the Edmonton zone.
JT Miller never shy when it comes to the scrums, and Darnell Nurse and JT Miller get started as Nurse actually cross-checks Miller first, and then Miller reciprocates as Desharnais the third man in. So that's just the two defensemen for Edmonton trying to intimidate the Canucks power forward there, but Vancouver doing a good job to build off of the Artur Shilov saves, set up some possession in the offensive zone, and get to work. Puck was sitting in and around the blue paint for about a second. Unfortunately, the Canucks couldn't get there, but that's the type of shift you want after a big penalty kill.
Patterson line out for the offensive zone face-off. A hybrid line, though. Mikheyev and Garland out there with him. Hughes and Hronek on the back end. Against the Janmark, Brown, Ryan fourth line for the Oilers. With Susi and Kulak. Chance for the Canucks to try and capitalize here. As Patterson wins the draw to Garland. Left point, Hughes. Dumps it behind the Oiler goal. Kulak after it. Tipped it far corner. Garland skates onto the puck. Is pushed up the wall by Kulak, but Hronek holds in for the line. Dumps it down the right wing boards for Patterson. Taken down on the wall by Kulak. Puck comes free to Hronek. Top of the point. Couldn't hold in. And he's got to take it back to center. Quinn Hughes with a backhand pass to Patterson. Sweeps it into the Oilers zone. Fanned on it, though, and Kulak clears it the other way. Hronek try to pass through the middle, nearly picked off by Connor Brown, but it bounces through to Quinn Hughes, and he'll get it near side for Ilya Mikheyev. Mikheyev back in his own zone for Hronek. Left wing for Hughes to center. Across the Oiler blue line, but it's ruled offside against Vancouver. 6:24 gone in the third period. It's the Oilers 2 and the Canucks nothing in Game 4 from Rogers Place in Edmonton. On Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey, streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Coming soon, genetically modified super soldiers encased in armor with powerful jaws, capable of infiltrating any structure and rendering it to dust. Hundreds, thousands of them. Ants. Protect your home with Westside Pest Control. Westside Pest Control has the tools and know-how to eliminate your ant problem. Stop the destruction. WestsidePestControl.com.
In a world where business knows no borders, Crow provides global reach on a personal scale. Spanning more than 145 countries, Crow's trusted advisors have the knowledge and expertise to add value to your business. From traditional accounting services to business consulting, Crow creates solutions tailored to your unique needs. Let Crow's expertise elevate your business. Visit crowmackay.ca to learn more. Crow. Smart decisions, lasting value.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Hey, this is JT Miller, and you're on the home of the Canucks.
Canucks with the draw. Miller scores right off the face-off. He rips it top shelf.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
You're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Own your home. Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. 6:24 elapsed in the third period. Oilers lead the Canucks 2-0 in Game 4. Vancouver's up 2-1 in the best-of-7 second-round series. Face-off of the Edmonton blue line, won by Elias Lindholm from Leon Draisaitl. Back to Noah Julson, who takes it in his own zone. Julson, near boards for Zadorov. Sent it through the middle. Garland tips it in deep. He'll chase down Desharnais, left wing corner. Joshua in to help out, has it free right wing side. Dakota Joshua cycles back to the corner. Garland tips it away from Draisaitl. Came to Desharnais. He plays it up the boards. Joshua's after it down low. Carries into the corner. Behind the net for Garland. Left wing side. Feeds the line for Zadorov. Shot bounced off a skate. Comes to Garland. High slot. Throws it to the goal. He scores! Connor Garland fires it. Glove side pass Cal Pickard with a great screen in front from Dakota Joshua. And the Canucks make it a one-goal game. It's 2-1.
And the Canucks, number 8, gets them on the board. Right off the face-off. A good job by this line to set up possession. And Connor Garland, just to the right of the left face-off circle, takes the pass from Elias Lindholm, between the legs, and snipes glove side on Calvin Pickard. But this starts with Dakota Joshua winning the puck battle first. That starts the entire sequence here, and a broken play ends up with a Canucks goal.
Connor Garland scores his second of the playoffs at 6:54 to the third period to make it 2-1. The time of the goal is brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at chromakai.ca. Here come the Canucks to the Oiler line again, but it's offside as Bouchard brought it in on the left wing.
And you've solved the Edmonton Oilers goalie, most importantly, but also the Canucks didn't have success getting to the middle of the ice, but on that play, a good pass by Lindholm to set up Garland, but you mentioned it on the goal call, Batch. Dakota Joshua getting in front of Pickard was a big part of that goal. The Canucks need more of that.
Puck is dumped back into the Oiler end. Bouchard near corner. Throws it up the boards. It comes to the line. Ian Cole with a heavy drive. He ripped it over the net. Hughes shooter right wing. Spins it behind the goal. JT Miller missed it down low. Evan Bouchard behind his own goal. Plays it far wall for Matthias Ekholm. Got it ahead to Nugent-Hopkins. Left wing to center for McDavid. In stride into the Vancouver zone. Forced wide by Myers. Took a shot stop by Shilov. Myers clears the rebound behind the net. Plays it to the near corner himself. Battling with Nugent-Hopkins for it. Suter gets it free to Besser. Tried to center for Patterson, who pokes it past Bouchard and out to center. And the Canucks will get a change with the Oilers regrouping in their own zone. Edmonton changes its line as well.
Good effort by Elias Patterson to make sure he got to that puck so his team could change.
Ekholm passes left wing to center. Perry tips it in deep. Hronek back to it. Lifted it off the glass and back to the Edmonton line. Brett Kulak off the bench. Fires it up the right wing. Corey Perry dumps it in. Philip Hronek's back to it behind his own goal. Hronek leaves for Hughes on the end boards. Middle of the ice, stepped out of the way of a hit attempt by Perry, who almost ran him over. Now he plays it to center for Hronek. Left wing to the Oiler line for McCabe. High slot, Patterson settles. It comes for Bluger. Got a shot away, and it was tipped off a stick and wide of the target. Susi mishandled it behind the net. Patterson's got it out the right wing side. Forced to the corner by Kulak. Feeds the line Hronek. Left point Hughes. Darting into the slot. Poke check by Perry. Keeps the puck. Right wing. Drops to Patterson. Long shot. Tip. Rebound in front. Bluger fell. Trying to sweep it to the goal. He couldn't get it on target, and the Oilers escape. Susi right wing to center. Clears it to the Vancouver line.
And the Canucks are getting looks now. They're really leaning on this Oilers team, forcing some quick decisions from Edmonton.
And they've still got more than 11 minutes left to try and tie the game here in the third period. Nurse back to the puck, run over by Joshua on the forecheck. Oilers trying to break out. Janmark passes to center for Connor Brown. Left wing for Nurse to the Vancouver line. Throws it to the net. Blockered away by Shilovs to the corner. Brown hit hard on the end boards by Joshua. Gets it far side centering. Pass from Ryan looking for Janmark in the slot. But Zadorov used his long reach to tip it out of the zone, and Nurse dumps it back in from center. Julson. Left boards for Zadorov. He'll settle it with both teams changing again. Nearing the midway mark, third period. Oilers up 2-1 in Game 4. Canucks pressing for an equalizer. Miller tried to pass in the neutral zone. Draisaitl tipped it back into the Vancouver end. Zadorov gets it free for Besser. Flips it up the right wing. Here's Miller to the Oiler line. Leaves for Ian Cole. Up in the play. Now to Miller. Right wing hash marks. Tied up by Evander Kane. Dumps it behind the net for Bouchard in the left wing corner. Again to Miller on the end boards. Mishandled the puck. Lost a battle to Draisaitl. Couldn't clear. Ian Cole Right wing half boards to Besser. Into the corner for Miller. Tried to center for Besser. Draisaitl intercepted, and he gets it high in the air and out to center. Puck is knocked down by Ian Cole. Back into the Edmonton zone. Dumps it behind the Oiler net. It rims around to the far side. Bluger holds in, winning a battle with Evander Kane. Bluger pinned to the boards by Draisaitl. Got it back to the line. Long shot, and Pickard made a save through traffic as that was thrown to the goal by Tyler Myers. Now Oman recovers it left wing, rims it around to the right point. Myers out of position. Will have to go back to it in his own zone. 9:40 left third period. Oilers up 2-1 in game 4. Puck is tipped to the Edmonton line. It's cleared to center. Teddy Bluger knocks it down and dumps it back in as Vancouver will change, and Sam Lafferty goes after Evan Bouchard on the forecheck. Bouchard skates back to center. Passes left wing. Here's McDavid with a burst of speed. Mishandled the puck. Gets a backhander away anyway as he spun away from Hronek, but missed the target. Now Nugent-Hopkins right wing corner. Pinned to the boards by Hughes. Comes to McDavid behind the net. Tried to cut out front. Poke check by Shilov's. Puck comes loose to the Canucks, and Patterson's left wing to center. He'll bank it to the Oiler line. Matthias Ekholm back to it. Pinned to the left wing corner boards by Ilya Mikheyev. Patterson in on the forecheck as well. Puck is tied up along the wall. Battle continues. Ekholm content to run time off the clock here. But Mikheyev gets it free and plays it around to the right wing half wall. Hronek pinches in for the line. Dumps it to the inboards. Linus Carlson after it. Nugent-Hopkins and Hronek fighting for it down low as well. Now it's played free. Patterson left circle. High slot for Hughes. Right side Hronek fakes the shot. Back to Hughes. Left wing. Into the middle. Toe drag. Left side. Patterson shoots. Pickard made a save off the blocker. Rebound side of the goal. Carlson trying to jam it home, but Pickard held it out again. Ekholm tied up by Carlson on the inboards. Hughes gets it free. Right point, middle of the ice. Hronek with a one-timer. That deflected wide. Carlson tried to tip it home on the rebound, but it hit the outside of the net. Patterson again. To the right point for Hronek. Back to Patterson. Left circle. Forced to the boards by Bouchard. He spins back to the line. Backhand pass, right wing. Garland off the bench with a slap shot. Pickard made the save. Patterson keeps it alive again. Canucks have the top line of the Oilers hemmed in their own zone. Ekholm plays it up the far boards. Hyman clears it just out over the blue line. Zadorov's got it at center. Pressured by McDavid. Nice rink-wide pass for Hughes. Floats it up the left wing for Garland. Into the Edmonton end, near corner. Connor Garland spins off a check. Gets it free to Lindholm. Back to the left point for Hughes. Has to settle a rolling puck. Dumps it back in behind the net. Comes to Garland far side. On his backhand. Bottom of the right circle. Spins away from Desharnais to the boards. Gets it loose to Lindholm. He'll cycle behind the net for Dakota Joshua. Pushed to the wall by Bouchard. Joshua right wing. Garland with a one-timer. It was missing the net. But Pickard makes a glove hand save. It gets the whistle. And now Joshua's into it with 3 Oilers in front of the Edmonton net. Tempers boiling over again with the Canucks all over Edmonton. In the Oilers' end of the ice looking to tie the game. 7:32 remaining in the third period. It's the Oilers 2 and the Canucks 1 in game 4 on Alpine Credits. Canucks playoff hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Landlords spend 76 hours managing their property in a year.
That's 19 date nights.
25 hockey games.
And 37...
Dad, let's get some ice cream.
...moments. What could you be doing with your time? At Hope Street, we help busy landlords get their time back. Live life, get paid. Become an armchair landlord today. Hope Street, because life's too short to spend it managing properties.
HopeStreet.ca.
On a team, the guys scoring are just as important as the guys stopping the other side from doing the same. That's how the West Coast Auto Group has built their elite team. At West Coast Toyota, Mazda, Nissan, Kia, and Ford Lincoln, the cars are the offense, and their great service department is the defense, preventing breakdowns and keeping you in the game. Elite from top to bottom. The West Coast Auto Group, just over the bridge in Maple Ridge. Visit them online at westcoastautogroup.com.
As you gear up to support your favorite team this spring, know that your favorite Kubota equipment dealer is elevating their game too. Swing by Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment, your trusted full-line Kubota dealers, and up your game with 0% financing and special spring deals on Kubota gear. Big or small, you'll receive the respect and support you deserve. Visit one of Avenue Machinery and Douglas Lake Equipment's 6 BC locations or explore DLEAMC.com.
Hey, this is Rick Tocchet, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
Make sure to stay tuned after tonight's game for the Canucks Central Postgame Show. Satyar Shah, Vic Nazar, and Brett Festerling will take your calls and texts. They'll chat with Ian McIntyre. You'll hear Rick Tockett's postgame presser and much more right here on your home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 on the Sportsnet Radio Network. 7:32 left, third period in Game 4. Oilers lead this game 2-1. Canucks lead the series 2-1, and Vancouver is pressing for an equalizer. Turning up the temperature here at Rogers Place in Edmonton. Face-off Oilers zone, far circle, won by Draisaitl from Miller back to Kulak, and he flips it high in the air to the Vancouver blue line. Delayed offside against the Oilers. Gives Hughes some time to set up the breakout. Left wing to center, plays it up the wall for Besser, who tipped it in deep. Cal Pickard out of his goal. Got it around the wall, far side for Evander Kane. He plays it high in the air into the Canucks zone. Hughes bats it out of midair to Besser, and again to Hughes deep in his own end. Hughes, stretch pass to center for Suter. Couldn't tip it deep past Kulak, who got it up the left wing for Kane, and the Oilers dump it back behind the Canuck goal. Shilov's out of the net. Near corner for Quinn Hughes. Banks it to Hronek, far corner. He'll pass left wing to center out of the reach of Joshua. It's going to be icing against the Canucks. And the faceoff will come back in their own end. 6:48 remaining in this third period. Oilers up 2-1 in Game 4.
The Canucks unable to really build a rhythm on that last shift, but prior to the break, it was all Vancouver as Edmonton was absorbing pressure, and the Canucks leaning on the Oilers, being aggressive, winning retrievals, winning battles all over the ice. They have to continue that, get the puck deep, and then just attack. Be heavy on the forecheck with the F1 and F2 coming in quick.
Oilers win the faceoff of the Vancouver zone. Ekholm left point. Dumps it behind the Canuck net. McDavid was tied up by Lindholm. Hronek gets it free. Far side for Garland, who chips it off the boards and out to center. Bouchard to the red line. Swept it up the far wall on the backhand for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He'll leave in his own zone for Evan Bouchard. 6.5 minutes left, third period. Right wing for Nugent-Hopkins. Into the Vancouver zone. Top of the near circle. Holding on to the puck. Tied up by Joshua. He'll carry to the corner. Hit into the end boards by Ian Cole, who knocked him down. And Tyler Myers gets it free from Hyman behind the net. Far side for Garland. Spins deep in his own zone. Oilers are going to change. As will the Canucks. Garland leaves for Ian Cole. Now for Tyler Myers. Right wing to center. Plays it up the boards for Niels Oman. Gains the Oilers line and dumps it in. Myers on the forecheck. Beaten to the puck by McLeod. Got it free for Nurse, and he'll sweep it back into the Vancouver end. Nikita Zadorov with it in his own zone. Fires it hard around the end boards. Patterson near side. Directs it out to center. Oman chasing it to the Oiler line. Can't find the puck. It comes back into the Canucks end. And Noah Julson on the far boards. Under pressure from McLeod. Gets it high in the air to the Edmonton line. Patterson can't bat it down. Desharnais clears it the other way. And Zadorov's got it in his own zone. Spinning away from Janmark. Zadorov to center for Patterson. Dumps it in on Pickard, who kicked it to the near corner. Oman's after it on the forecheck. Battling for the puck. Plays it behind the Edmonton net. Darnell Nurse back to it far side. Gets it off the boards all the way down. Icing's waved off, though, as it tipped off a stick, and Shilov's handles top of his crease for Zadorov, who takes it behind the net. Nikita Zadorov. Passes left wing to center for Besser to the Oiler line. Poked it into the zone. Chases Susi back to the corner. He tried to play it up the wall. Miller knocked it down. It comes to Hughes, top of the point. Right side, Philip Hronek. Passes across the zone to Miller, left wing wall. It bounced off the boards out of his reach, but he chips it down low into the corner. Susi back to it. Besser right on top of him. Played it up the boards. Miller knocks it down. Again to Besser, left corner. Back to Miller. At the circle. Feeds the line for Quinn Hughes. Pressure to the line by Holloway. Got it back into the near corner. Besser. After Susi can't find the puck, Miller knocks it free. High slot for Suter. Bats it into the near corner. Brock Besser with it. To the line for JT Miller, left point. Rink wide right side for Quinn Hughes. Cutting back middle of the ice for Miller, left wing. Try to drop pass to Hughes. It's broken up, cleared down the ice. There's a foot race of Evander Kane, partial break. Shilov's charging out of his net. Poked it away from Kane and back to center. What a play by the young goaltender.
That is brave goaltending. Artur Shilov sprinting past the left faceoff circle to make that play.
4:10 left, third period. Oilers up 2-1 in Game 4. Zach Hyman, right wing. Into the Vancouver zone. Dumps it near corner. Skates onto it himself. He's pushed behind the net by Zadorov. McDavid in to help out. Tied up by Myers, left corner. Connor McDavid protecting the puck. Gets it down low to Hyman. Tangled up with Zadorov. Myers stepped into him, laid a hit. Fans want a penalty. Play continues. Zadorov got it free. Nugent-Hopkins tried a shot block by Myers, and he's able to get it out of the zone. Bouchard right wing from center for Nugent-Hopkins. Driving through the middle. High slot. Passes left wing. Hyman going to the goal. Had it roll off his stick wide of the net. Back around to the near side. Joshua on the near boards. Can't get it out. Nugent-Hopkins holds in, dumps it behind the Canuck net. Zadorov back to the puck. Stripped by McDavid. Feeds high slot. One-timer for Connor Brown off the bench. Blocked by Connor Garland. Connor Brown, left wing. Cycles to the end boards. Janmark pinned to the wall by Zadorov. Myers gets it free. Sends it ahead for Connor Garland. Makes a nice move to control, and now he'll skate out to center on right wing. Garland got it to the Oiler line. Canucks will change. Desharnais passes back up the right wing for Janmark, who tips it in deep. Julson behind his own net. Passes for Patterson. Middle of the ice. He'll bank it right wing to center. For Linus Carlson, who gains the red line and dumps it in. Mikheyev on the forecheck. Pins Desharnais to the end boards. Carlson's got it right corner. Spins it around left point. Ian Cole holds in. Back below the goal line. Mikheyev battling for it. Patterson gets it free. It bounces near circle. As Carlson won a battle with Nurse side of the net. Linus Carlson behind the goal, right point. Noah Julson fakes the shot, takes a wrist shot, and Pickard stopped him with a glove and gets the whistle. 2:38 remaining in the third period. Don't go anywhere. It's the Oilers 2 and the Canucks 1 in Game 4 on Alpine Credits Canucks Playoff Hockey, streaming on the Sportsnet app and along the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
BCers love hockey, and they also love burgers. What's even better is saving 20% off takeout during the playoffs. Order White Spot online and save 20% off with code SAVE20. Not valid on May 12th, June 16th, or on pirate packs and alcohol. Only at whitespot.ca.
Door to door or port to port, All Cargo Express is the leading Canadian international freight forwarder, importing and exporting vehicles, commercial goods.
Hey Insiders, TSI Mike here. We've got another night of NHL Stanley Cup playoff action ahead. Thank you so much for being here and hitting that like button. If you haven't done so already, please get on it. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Join up as an insider today. Let's get over 19,000. We're almost there, heading into tonight, just short of 19,000. And let's get to 20,000 insiders, subscribers by the Canucks game tomorrow night. So that's the goal. The push for 20,000 subscribers is on. It's up to you guys. Hit that subscribe button and then share it out to your friends. Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Send them an email. Get them in the chat and let's have some fun and talk some smack. Enjoy. We'll see you guys back in the chat.
Bouchard for the Oilers and Cal Pickard in net. It'll be Lindholm and Draisaitl on the draw. Far circle in the Oilers zone to our left. As they try to make sure the two centermen get set up, and Lindholm wins it cleanly. Top of the point for Quinn Hughes. Into the high slot, right circle, one-timer. Patterson, it was blocked to the corner. Ekholm is after it. Chased down by JT Miller on the boards. Ekholm gave it away to Patterson. It comes loose to Nugent-Hopkins. He clears to center, and Quinn Hughes has it to the red line. Passes left wing for Besser. Dumped it back in. Joshua after it on the forecheck. Ekholm behind the goal. Hammered into the end boards by Joshua. The Oilers get it down the ice. This will be icing against Edmonton. And the Canucks, with 2:13 left in the third period, have another face-off in the Oilers zone. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Jando with you tonight from Rogers Place. Satyar Shah, Dan Riccio, and Yannick Hansen brought you the pregame show. Sat has been with Vic Nazar and Brett Fess. Central postgame show where they'll be joined by Ian McIntyre. Fast Eddie Gregory producing the broadcast from Sportsnet 650 Control in Vancouver. Ben Besseron helping him out. Canberra is the executive producer of Canucks Hockey and our fearless leader. It takes a cast of thousands to bring you the action on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Canucks win the draw in the Oilers zone. Hughes, right wing for Patterson. Back to Hughes, top of the point. Left circle, Besser. Again to Hughes at the line. Long shot, tipped just wide of the net. Besser's got it bottom of the left circle. Plays it around to the right wing boards. Patterson protects it on the backhand from McDavid. Got it loose to Lindholm. Back to Patterson. Right wing on the half boards. McDavid on top of him. For Lindholm, threw it to the goal. It went wide of the net. Then Besser holds in left point under 2 minutes left. Besser long shot, and Pickard stopped it with the glove and held on for the whistle. 1:47 now remaining in regulation time. Edmonton protecting a 2-1 lead in Game 4. The Oilers trying to tie the series at 2 games apiece.
The Canucks doing a good job of winning battles in the offensive zone, not allowing Edmonton to get possession, whether it's Besser, Patterson, or Lindholm along the wall. But they're not able to find that shot right now. And it looks like Vancouver's taking a timeout here to set up a set play or two with 1 minute and 47 seconds to go.
The Canucks line had been out there. Patterson had been out there for 1 minute 22 seconds. The other 5 guys have been out there for 51 seconds. So give them a breather. The problem is you also give the top players of the Oilers a breather because they're not coming off defending this lead this late in the third.
The rest of the way here, it's going to be best on best. On that last shift, it was the Vancouver Canucks top attackers against Edmonton's best players, McDavid, Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Ekholm, you name it. This is what you want. This is high drama at Rogers Place. It's a 1-goal game. Vancouver's been in this spot a lot of times in the playoffs already. 4 times, and they've won 3 of those games. So can they do it again is the question.
What sort of heroics do the Canucks still have in store? It's time to find out. 1:47 left in the third. Oilers up 2-1. Face-off in the Edmonton zone near circle to our left. Derek Ryan out to take the face-off opposite Elias Pettersson. It's Ryan, Desharnais, Nurse, Draisaitl, and McDavid on the ice. Pettersson wins the draw for Besser. Left point to Hughes. Back to Besser. Left wing shoots. They score! Brock Besser got it to the goal. It finds its way past Cal Pickard, and the comeback Canucks have done it again. It's 2-2 with 1:41 left in the third.
Hughes to Besser. Besser takes the shot from the left-hand side, and there's traffic. Lindholm and Joshua in front of Calvin Pickard. And the puck goes to the back of the net, but Brock Besser ends up taking the shot. I think this goes off Elias Lindholm as the Canucks make it in this game.
They will not quit. They will not go away. And they've clawed back again.
And they are giving it to Brock Besser right now. It looks like it went clean in from the left-hand side.
It's Besser's team leading 8th of the playoffs at 18-19 of the third period to tie the game at 2. And the time of the goal is brought to you by Crow, your trusted advisors for 55 years. Learn more at crowmackay.ca. 90 seconds left, third period. Hronek chips it to center. Hughes Suter missed it, and Evan Bouchard takes it back into his own end. Far side, Mattias Ekholm throws it up the left wing for Nugent-Hopkins. Tried to dump it into the Vancouver zone, but cleared it into the Canuck bench instead.
That's what can you say? This team does not quit. A 2-goal deficit coming into the third period where they weren't able to generate much of anything 5-on-5 in terms of high-danger chances. But yet again, they get the goals. First Connor Garland, and now Brock Besser. Both goals come late in the game, of course, but this one's 6-on-5 as Vancouver ties this one up.
Canucks play it to center. Here's Miller, right wing to the Oiler line. Forced wide by Bouchard. Got a low shot on net, and Pickard kicked it out off the right pad. Oilers clear to the line. Holloway sweeps it to center. Zadorov funnels it up the left wing. Holloway dumps it back in as we enter the final minute of the third period. Canucks and Oilers tied at 2. Evander Kane with a huge hit on Hronek near corner in the Canucks zone, but Besser gets it free far side. Bounces it out of the zone. No, it was held in. Here's Draisaitl, right wing. Drops near circle. Evander Kane tried a shot. Blocked by Elias Lindholm. Kane right corner. Gets it behind the net. Draisaitl stick handling down low. High slot. Bouchard shoots. They score! Evan Bouchard threw it to the net. It found its way past Archer Shilov's. And the Oilers lead again 3-2 with 38 seconds left.
A quick response by the Edmonton Oilers as Evan Bouchard gets the puck in the middle of the ice. He gets the shot off and ends up going straight through the middle of the ice as Edmonton has heavy pressure, playing a physical game there, and it beats Shilov's glove side. But that starts with an aggressive forecheck from Evander Kane, which creates possession for the Oilers and leads to the goal.
They're going to pull Shilov's right off the face-off at center. Or they're not going to be allowed to, actually. He's going to go back into the crease. Hughes is giving him instructions. 38.1 seconds left. Do the Canucks have one more miracle in them tonight? Down 3-2. McDavid wins the face-off at center. Back into his own end for Desharnais. He'll skate right wing to the red line, clears it into the Vancouver zone. Hughes back to it with 30 seconds left, and there goes Shilovs to the bench. Bedlam inside Rogers Place. Hughes at his own line, passes ahead. It's tipped left wing into the Oilers zone. Patterson after it down low, pushed to the corner by McDavid. Fights it to the end boards. It's caught up in skates. Joshua trying to get it free. 15 seconds left. Puck still tied up on the end boards. Desharnais doing great work. Canucks can't get it free. 10 seconds left. Joshua on the end boards. Near corner for Garland. Back to the line for Hughes. 5 seconds left. D-to-D far side. Myers holds in. Passes. Garland can't shoot. And time will run out. The Oilers have tied the series.
What a game. What a third period. And it looked like the Vancouver Canucks had come back into this game. It looked like this one was going to overtime. But a response by the Edmonton Oilers late. Aggressive, heavy forecheck by Evander Kane sets up possession. And with seconds left in this game, the Edmonton Oilers get the goal. But what a third period. And it's a best out of 3 now as the series heads back to Vancouver.
It'll be game 5 on Thursday night at Rogers Arena, 7 o'clock face-off. Make sure to join us for that. But another thrilling game here tonight in Edmonton results in a nail-biting Oilers win for the home fans at Rogers Place. Evan Bouchard with a game-winning goal in the closing moments. Once again, the final score tonight at Rogers Place, the Oilers 3 and the Canucks 2. The best of 7 second-round series is tied at 2 games apiece. For Randeep Janda, this is Brendan Batchelor in Edmonton, Alberta. The Canucks Central Postgame Show starts right now.
This is the Canucks Central Postgame Show.
Behind the net for Garland, left wing side. Feeds the line for Zadorov. Shot bounced off a skate. Comes to Garland, high slot, throws it to the goal. He scores! Connor Garland fires it. Glove side pass, Cal Pickard with a great screen in front from Dakota Joshua. And the Canucks make it a 1-goal game. It's 2-1. To Hughes, back to Besser. Left wing shoots. They score! Brock Besser got into the goal. It finds its way past Cal Pickard. And the comeback Canucks have done it again. It's 2-2 with 1:41 left in the third.
With instant reaction from the players and coaches.
Kane right corner. Gets it behind the net. Draisaitl stick handling down low. High slot. Bouchard shoots. They score! Evan Bouchard threw it to the net. It found its way past Archer's Shilovs. And the Oilers lead again 3-2 with 38 seconds left.
Have your say on the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Canucks lose a heartbreaker, dying seconds. 3-2 loss in Edmonton. Series now tied at 2 games apiece. And this is the Canucks Central Postgame Show presented by the number 5 Orange on the home of your Canucks, Sportsnet 650. Satya Shah with Bick Nazar and Brett Festerling. We are going to bring in Randeep Janda into the conversation in just a moment. As always, get your thoughts into our Dunbar Lumber text inbox, 650-650. You can also grab a phone line, 604-280-0650 or toll free, 1-888-275-0650. It was Leon Draisaitl opening up the scoring on the power play. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins made it 2-0 late in the second period. Then Connor Garland made it a 1-goal game in the final 2 minutes. Brock Besser tied it. We thought we're going to overtime. And then Evan Bouchard, a bit of a seeing eye shot through a little bit of traffic, squeezes through Artur Shilovs. Perhaps his only misstep of the evening, comes in the final 40 seconds, gets through him just a little bit. And the next thing you know, it's a 3-2 final for Edmonton. But before we bring Randeep in, there is a little bit of controversy. Now, there was no challenge, there was no review, but was there a high stick on that play before the puck got into the net on the same sequence?
Well, hang on. In the final minute of play, in the third and any point in overtime, these are league-initiated challenges. Okay. But was it knocked down on a clearing attempt by Connor Garland by Leon Draisaitl? It is really close to tell. And I don't have a definitive look here for you, but just that is the initial impression. It was a clear out by Garland, knocked down by Draisaitl on a high stick. It's just off the TV copy, very, very difficult to tell.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. A bit of a borderline call there, Brett, too, right? Like you see it. I mean, it's one of those that maybe the ref calls it, ices it on the play, or if not, looks kind of borderline. Usually those borderline ones, they don't get overturned. We saw it. It was against Dallas, wasn't it? Marchman with that or Sagan. I forget which one it was.
Yeah,
it was one of those against Dallas. Same thing. It was borderline. It looked like it may have been, but they'll kind of just err on the side, on the call on the ice. Or maybe it stands, but a close call nonetheless.
It's so close. It's so close. I mean, I think when it comes down to talking in the locker room, they're going to say, hey, we got to bear down and get that out. Yeah. That's what it comes down
100%.
to. You know what I mean? I'll give Draisaitl credit for getting it knocked down, and then actually, I don't know who the D-man is there.
It was Draisaitl doing it all.
Yeah, so, man, what a heartbreaker. That's so close.
Hey, listen, the first goal happens in the game because Ian Cole couldn't get a clear. It led to JT taking interference call. Noah Julson steps up at the blue line on Ryan Nugent's goal, and this one here, you don't get the puck out. No Carlson Susi tonight. Kind of missed him here. Let's bring in Randeep Janda into the conversation. And Randeep, you guys were there in Edmonton calling the game. It looked like, hey, we're going to overtime. And then out of nowhere, Edmonton takes the victory.
Boys, what a roller coaster ride. That was something. It felt like for 40 minutes, the Canucks didn't really have anything other than, especially in the middle of the ice. And then late in the third period, they get back in this game yet again, 2-goal deficit. And in the final seconds, you get that shot through. There's a little bit of traffic in front of Shilov's, but, that was a heck of a response by the Edmonton Oilers on that shift to come in with a heavy forecheck. But for 40 minutes, the Canucks weren't able to generate through the middle of the ice. And, for good stretches, were hemmed in their own zone. So I think they're going to go back at this. And you guys were talking about maybe a lack of composure in those certain segments of the game, whether it was the Ian Cole not being able to get a clear earlier on in the game, led to the penalty, or later on here where they had a couple of chances to clear. That's something that they'll probably be kicking themselves after this game. But short-term memory, boys. You got to go back to Vancouver. You got to win the next one.
Hey, just really quickly, Randy, we're getting a replay of the Draisaitl high stick that we're talking about here. It's a slowed-down version of just the usual TV angle. Did you see another angle that maybe shows if it was high sticking or not on Draisaitl on the winning goal?
I'm seeing that right now, and it seems pretty borderline. It's right on the cusp of, it's around the shoulder level. It's definitely one to look at. It's conclusively, I can't really say that right now, but it's something that is close, and it might. We've seen this before, guys, earlier on this year. I forget what game it was in a Canucks game, and it was a call that everybody thought it was a high stick, and it ended up going back it wasn't called that. This one kind of reminds me of that, so it's definitely on the line. Real time, they didn't call it, and fortunately for the Canucks, it's something that will be up for debate, I'm sure, in the postgame show, but it's right on that line to me. It might be above it. I'm looking at this right now, and it's very close. Very close.
It's a very close call. I'm not sure they would overturn that or not, but nonetheless, it's one of those things that people are already noticing it. And overall, though, when we look at how the Canucks played this game, in some ways you can look at it, they were kind of fortunate to even be within a goal late. Garland scored to make it a 1-goal game. They end up tying it going late. I mean, hey, I know they lost here, and it's heartbreaking the way they lost the game, but this was not one of their better showings in the series either, though.
No, you give yourself a chance because of the late game heroics, but as I mentioned, 40 minutes prior to that, guys, I had it here, I think it was 8-1 high danger chances, 5-on-5 for the Edmonton Oilers. Even though they had more possession time, and I thought, the second period, the way they started to move the puck quicker up the ice, the way that they're being aggressive in the neutral zone, they did a better job than the first period. But even despite all of that, even more zone time, they only had one high danger chance through 40 minutes. So they didn't make life difficult enough for Pickard. And that zone time that they did have, it wasn't generating. I think you got to credit a couple of things there. Edmonton did a pretty decent job in the second period to block shots, to really not give Vancouver the middle of the ice. But I think, Vancouver wasn't playing their game for definitely the first 20 minutes of this game. And even in through parts, they just weren't able to get to that dangerous part of the ice, which you need to, score goals. Much better in the third period. But as we know, one team is really up their game, and the other one in the third period when you have a 2-goal lead, you take your foot off the gas a little bit. I thought Vancouver played so much better in the third, but guys, and you have to bring that in the 40 minutes, and Edmonton was winning a lot more puck battles, especially in the first period.
Some of the usage tonight, guys, I'm kind of curious about. So tonight, Elias Patterson ends with 1936. JT Miller ends with 19 minutes. Elias Lindholm gets 18:08. You're chasing the game here late, Brett, and we just saw the other night McDavid. I'm not saying you got to play these guys 29 minutes, but that's really low. And we even saw like Oman out there with about 3 minutes to go, and Mikheyev out there with 3 minutes to go. I just kind of curious what Rick Tockett's line of thinking here is when you're chasing the game.
Yeah, and I'm not going to act like I'm an NHL coach here, but from my experience on the bench, you think, well, yeah, I'm on the bench because I'm not out there trying to score goals. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Oman with 3 minutes left, I would have expected maybe to shorten it a bit. And
sorry, it was Carlson, not Oman, but nevertheless.
Yeah, but Oman was out there and Carlson. I mean, I mentioned to you at the 10-minute mark when those guys were out there, hey, I think it's time to shorten the bench. And we still saw that through into kind of 3 minutes left. They do tie it up, though. So, like, you know, as much as you want to pick it apart, they do tie it up. And then just unfortunate and good play by Ekholm to actually keep that gap and do it. If you want to nitpick the video, you might say Miller's got to be a foot under him as well, right? That gives you the second chance to get it out. It's just a game of inches, and they lost those inches tonight.
And they did. And I thought, guys, you know, I mentioned a bit earlier, but they really missed Carson Susi tonight. You know, and I think it really showed in those situations because you have Cole out there playing with Myers. You have Susi with Myers. Maybe, you know, you get the clear, for instance, right? Julson's not playing. He doesn't step up and get caught on that. And, you know, and it's who knows if Susi plays, the butterfly effect could have been a completely different outcome anyways, or things could have happened. But it's easy to look at some of the breakdowns and what happened. And if Susi was there for the usage, maybe those breakdowns wouldn't be the same outcome.
For sure, and guys, I also think about, you know, that those key moments, and through 3 games, for the most part, Vancouver won a lot of the key moments in the game, right? Where sure, maybe the rink is tilted a little bit, but in those moments, you have your composure. You come back and win games. You get good goaltending and good defense. Tonight, in those moments, whether it was the power play goal and what led to that power play to begin with, or, you know, that 2-0 goal is a real backbreaker because you go into the second period. If you're still down 1-0, you're like, all right, we're in this, and we haven't played our best game yet. But you dive into the neutral zone with Noah Julson, and that's just one that Noah knows better. He's, you know, looking for that hit there, but it's not the first time that's happened to him. So that's one that really, I think, really hurts you. But Carson Susi, yeah, he's one of those guys that you don't even notice on the ice sometimes. Sometimes when he's able to take an extra second to peel off, win a battle, and just have that composure. Yeah, they missed him today. And, you know, that length in transition as well, guys. So I think, you know, the good thing is he's back next game. But there was a couple of key moments in this game that Vancouver lost. And in the end, that hurts you.
Shilov's. Okay, maybe the third goal, we'll touch on it. Can he squeeze that one a bit better or parry that away? But the confidence of the young lad to chase out that puck, push it away for Evander Kane. I know, again, the third goal, we'll talk about it, but I think he had another strong game, Randy.
Oh, yeah, that was brave goaltending there, where you've got a player coming, you know, on that right-hand side. He gets out there, poke checks it. And even before that, guys, remember those 2 saves. One, the left pad save he makes on Zach Hyman as Hyman kind of turns and tries to tuck it in, and Shilov's is in full stretch to make that save. And even before that, there was another puck that looked like it might get behind him, and he continues to battle. So I think he gave his team an opportunity to win this game. Remember, those saves were at 2-0. Gives the guys confidence. They come back the other way. They tie it up. The third goal, as you mentioned, of course, something that you probably want him to get a bit of a piece on it. You want him to stop that. But I think the fact that they were in the game is thanks to Artur Shilov's, where he made a couple of huge saves when the game was 2-0.
Yeah, huge. He stops the one with his skate blade, which is incredible, right? And then Hyman does that kind of wrap movement in front, and he's able to get that. Crazy. I think one of our biggest cheers for the night was when he came out of the net and chased down the puck.
Yeah, the camera was panning over, and I thought, is he going to come out for this and, like, do it, Shilov? And then as soon as he gets, you can see him. He's on his giddy up, and he just gets there.
Yeah, that was a good moment. And then the last goal, I think he can squeeze it, yeah, but you do have 3 Canucks kind of in his eyes, right? I think he doesn't pick that up till it's halfway there, and that probably, you know, it gives him it's just late to pick it up because it's so close to him by the time he sees it.
Randy, great stuff, man. We look forward to seeing you back in Vancouver. Game 5, Thursday, Rogers Arena, series tied at 2 games apiece. We thought this would be a long one, and that's what it looks like we're getting. So look forward to seeing you back in town.
Absolutely. Looking forward to, guys. And this arena was really loud, so I'm going to challenge the folks in Vancouver. Make Rogers Arena very, very loud when we get back, because we know we can do it. I've been watching the viewing parties here from Edmonton. It's a rowdy barn even when the team's not there. Let's make it more rowdy when we get back for Game 5.
Yeah, well said, Randy. Great stuff, man.
Cheers.
Keep your thoughts coming into our Dunbar Lumber text inbox, 650-650. You can also grab a phone line, 604-280-0650, or toll free, 1-888-275-0650. We are going to get to your reaction. We'll hear from the head coach as well. A lot of text coming in. This one here says, our power play was useless. That's an unsigned text. And if you want to look at not taking advantage, the Canucks had 3 power plays, including a double minor in the first period. And it's not just that they didn't capitalize. It sucked any momentum they had because it was absolutely dreadful. They barely got set up and barely generated anything of quality for 6 minutes.
Look, there's going to be a lot of discussions about the goals against. Obviously, the Julson moment there, and then the third goal. But when we're doing the postmortem of this game, what are the reasons the Canucks didn't come out victorious? That 4-minute power play in the first. There's no way that can't be a talking point of why the Canucks were unable to get a lead in this game.
There was such a build-up for this game, right? Edmonton's going to come. They're emotional. Are they going to go after Zadorov and all this? You knew they were going to come in the first period, and they did. But then we do have those opportunities with those 3 power plays, and right there, you can swing the momentum back in your favor. You can take it over. You can put them in the heels. That, to me, is a huge key in this game of why they came out on the bottom.
And it's not just that they didn't score, Sat. It looked remarkably ineffective.
Yeah,
momentum sucker.
Yeah, it really was. It really did. All right, listen, keep your thoughts coming in. We are going to get to your texts and your phone calls, and we are going to hear from the Canucks head coach, but we'll do that after the break. You are listening to the Canucks Central Postgame Show. Canucks lose 3-2. Series now tied at 2 games apiece against Edmonton. It's Sat, Brett, and Bick, and this is the Canucks Central Postgame Show presented by the number 5 Orange, a Vancouver legend. They've got sports, too. More next on the home of your Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, to discuss the news.
For a guy who I think has the winningness, has the highest winning percentage of all time in the regular season for any coach who's coached 300 or more games. All time, Gord. So he's had a good team, but he's also done a pretty good job and had a lot of success in the regular season. But even Sheldon Keefe said, we haven't gotten the results. And I think I don't know if it was a subconscious slip of the tongue that raised eyebrows after they lost out when he said teams play the Toronto Maple Leafs and they play to make the Leafs beat themselves. He didn't say when they play us, they try to make us beat ourselves. He was talking about the Leafs in sort of the third person, not about that he was part of the team anymore. And then, I think he's a smart guy. He understands the market. He understands the industry, the profession. As you mentioned, there's been so much coach turnover in the last couple of years that it's amazing that anyone gets to 5 years behind a bench. And so he probably would be bitterly disappointed, but not entirely stunned. The easiest and most obvious first step, if you're looking to make sort of significant changes to a team, is the coach. Because other than money, it doesn't cost you anything. It's hard to trade players. It's hard to sort that out. It's not hard to fire and hire coaches. Not a surprise. I think there are moments in the playoffs where, over the years, where he probably and has said that he wished he had done better or maybe done something differently, that he was growing and learning like the team was growing and learning. But at this point, after 5 years and 5 relatively disappointing playoffs, the time to learn and grow is gone. You just sort of have to do it. And they didn't do it.
That was former NHL player and current NHL analyst Mike Johnson on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. If you want to hear more, make sure to check out NHL Network Radio on SiriusXM Channel 91.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information from the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule
for Wednesday, May the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest update. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Colorado Avalanche. Stars on Sirius 162XM 219 and Internet 929. Avalanche on Internet 927, national feed on SiriusXM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, May the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest update. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Colorado Avalanche. Stars on Sirius 162XM 219 and Internet 929. Avalanche on Internet 927, national feed on SiriusXM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, May the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest update. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Colorado Avalanche. Stars on Sirius 162XM 219 and Internet 929. Avalanche on Internet 927, national feed on SiriusXM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, May the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest update. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Colorado Avalanche. Stars on Sirius 162XM 219 and Internet 929. Avalanche on Internet 927. National feed on SiriusXM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Wednesday, May the 15th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest update. In the NHL playoffs, 8 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Colorado Avalanche. Stars on Sirius 162XM 219 and Internet 929. Avalanche on Internet 927. National feed on SiriusXM and Internet channels 91.
Get the latest news, opinion, and analysis from MMA to boxing and the professional wrestling world 24/7. SiriusXM Fight Nation, SiriusXM 156, and the SXM app.
NHL Network Radio's Jay Kahn joined Matt Gurney from the Daily Edition on Canada Talks, Channel 167, to discuss the news of Sheldon Keefe's firing as head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, as well as the future for the team's roster.
I think if you followed the team for a long time, you felt like he was most likely coaching for his job in that first round series. Where I will give him a lot of credit is actually getting the Leafs back into that series, right? With a lot of factors working against him. And I did feel like he improved as a head coach in the playoffs over the few years. The first couple instances of him making the postseason, I felt like he got out coached. Now he was able to win a round of playoff hockey last year. Ultimately, they only get one more win in the second round. They lose pretty quickly to the Panthers, but I felt like the adjustments he made in that series against Boston were impressive to me, especially with Nylander out early in the series, Matthews out late in the series, a goaltending injury thrown in there as well. And I felt like he was able to drop a game plan that his players bought into in games 5, 6, and 7, and they ultimately fall one goal short of winning in that round. And I don't know if that would have helped him keep his job. A second round loss, we could be having the same conversation just a couple weeks later. But you're right. I think it's important to separate Sheldon Keefe as the human being, the person, and Sheldon Keefe as the head coach. We all saw that video and the outpour of people that have either covered him, have worked for him over the years. Just a lot of messages yesterday saying how great of a person he was and how everyone's rooting for him in whatever his next job might be. So that tells me that he is a great person and someone that you want to root for, but you have to separate that from the head coach. And this is just the reality of the business, Matt, is you don't get the job done with a team that views themselves as a contender over a 4 or 5 year period. You're going to be shown the door. And he referenced that in his video.
We also got big roster changes coming up, and I think part of that is obviously the speculation, Jake, about the core